just adjust. Yes. Adrian, thanks for joining. James King Supro, you're always one of the first ones in. You and the NWO guy, I can't remember his name. Brent Johnson, thanks for joining. Brian Blayton, I hope I got that right. Anything for clicks. Yeah, Reggie will be on in a few. We got a bunch of topics though tonight. We have a bunch of stuff that we can talk about. So it's just been slow up until this last week. It's been slow as far as trying to figure out stuff to talk about. So okay, let me catch up on people. Joe, thanks for joining. Adam, Sunny. Let's see. Gangster Love, Juan, Brian. No, Brian, never that. Jack Johnson. Jack is in the house. Let me see what's going on in text. Let's see. Okay, Scooby Mac. LR 1991 ZT. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. Let's see. Curry, thanks for joining. Yeah, we've been on hiatus for a minute, but there really up until this last week, honestly, guys, there wasn't a lot to talk about. I mean, there really wasn't as far as what we normally speak on, but this last week a bunch of stuff came up, so we said we have to do a live. Let's see. Okay, Maurice, appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it's weird not editing and doing stuff daily, but we'll get back to it. DJ Gary, Snoop gave it to Suge. He did. I'm very interested to get Reggie's thoughts on this because Reggie doesn't like people talking about Suge, but he also stood up for Suge or stood up for Snoop when Suge was saying those lies about him setting up Tupac and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious to hear his take on that. Cassie said the Diddy caves real. Caves? I didn't see that part. But I did see where her text. That shit was crazy. Reggie said you were going to sell. Oh, no. Crown Royal. Well, that's all speculation at this point. Johnny Mac thought Snoop and Suge were cool now. Nah, I mean, if you've heard on Art of Dialogue's channel all the things Suge has said about Snoop over the last like 4 or 5 months, you would think different. Did David Mack know Tupac? Jay Dez, show me a photo of David Mack with anybody that has anything to do with Death Row, and then I'll answer your question. They found caves under Diddy's house. Okay. Let me see. Let me do that. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Let's see. How can I get a shirt? I think they're on bombfirst.com. No, I don't really follow Art's channel. Oh, well, he did a bunch of interviews with Suge where Suge laid out stuff about Snoop. So, okay, cool. You're gone. Let's see. Was George ever around Tupac? We'd have to ask Reggie that. We'll have to ask Reggie when he comes on. Let's see. DJ AG, I haven't talked to you or seen you for a minute. Layla Steinberg was. Yeah, she was in like 1989 as a groupie. But, let's see. Friend. The movement, my guy. I don't know. I personally wouldn't. Reggie might. I wouldn't. Ronnie, no, I did not. Death Row's Finance, thanks for joining. Let's see. Are there any guests joining live tonight? We'll have to see. I can never tell Reggie. He can bring people in last minute and make the stream go crazy. So who knows? John, when are you going to post back on Twitch? Probably not, just because it doesn't do much. Okay. Reggie, are you on? Or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you go. Okay, you're connected on. Okay. Same old questions. They're asking questions, but it's stuff that we talk about already. So I'll wait until we get people in here, and if you want to say what's up to people, and then we can get into questions if you want.
All right. What up, Bonfire family? Welcome back to seeing y'all and talking to all of y'all again. Hope all's well. Everybody that's been hitting me on IG, I appreciate it. Asking me what's going on, when you coming back. And appreciate all y'all worried about me and concerns. And respect. Yeah. Yes, sir. So appreciate all y'all reaching out. There's a lot been going on, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's Tupac world. Not Tupac in this world, but in this Bomb First era and stuff that we could cover and want to talk about. And so, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
Yep. So hope all of y'all had a good time. Hope y'all shared some time with your Mother's Day last week. And yep. Jay Diz, if to say this channel is not for you. But I wish what you were saying is true. Because then you couldn't be blaming me for having anything to do with the death of Tupac. And my security wasn't there, right? But we all know that that's not true. But yeah, so that'd be the last time you'd be acknowledged over here. And so you can keep typing all your bullshit, because that's not what we're about over here. The movement, my guy, appreciate you. Nate the Great, man, I'm gonna die if the Knicks win be in the championship, or definitely win a championship. You guys in New York, boy, y'all be acting a fool. I'm gonna be an Indianapolis fan, but I'm going for Minnesota now. There's something about Ant-Man, even though I don't like him, what he did with that model, with disowning his son. I still wishing for him and his team to win the T-Wolves. So I'm a T-Wolves fan this year. Oklahoma City, I like them, but for some reason I like Ant-Man a little more. I'll take any of the three that's left over the New York Knicks. Oh my God. New York people are going crazy. They're worse than Cowboy fans, in my opinion.
When was the last time they won a championship? Was it a long time?
1972.
Oh shit. Yeah,
or 3. They beat the Lakers. There's this guy named, they call it I can't think of his name right now, where he came out on a bad one leg and beat the Lakers.
Oh, damn.
Willard Reed, I think it was. Something Reed. I can't think of his name right now. 72 or 73, but damn, man, I'm supposed to know all of this. Something Reed, though. He came out on one leg and hit a shot and beat the Lakers. Did you hear the new Poop Poop Dogs album? I actually like it, y'all. The verses I like that style. Is way better than Missionary.
Mm-hmm.
It was way better than Willis Reed. Thank you, Brian Blake. Thank you, Willis Reed. Nate the Great, thank you. It wasn't Walt Frazier, Brian. But Walt Frazier in my mind was the best Nick basketball player. My top 5 Knicks players, Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, of course, Willis Reed. You got to put him in there. I love the mama. What was his name? Oh god damn, I can't even think of his name. The one that had the mama commercials. And then Bernard King. Bernard King was good too. But I'm about to throw if they win this and if they get to the NBA finals, then Bronson gonna be in there. Larry Johnson. Thank you. Larry Johnson. Yes, thank you guys. I wasn't a big Allen Houston fan like that. So keep my Cowboys out of this. Respect. But Grandma Mom, he was the first one that started making that money with those commercials. Y'all remember he used to dress up like an old grand lady and was slam dunking in those commercials? Yeah. Grandma Mama. Yeah. I wasn't a big John Starks fan either. Pacers in 6. Yeah, but one thing about them though, this Knicks team is like New Yorkers. They feisty. They are some feisty brothers. Latrell Sprewell. Yeah. You know, you have to throw, even though Melo didn't win nothing, Carmelo did some great things for the the Knicks. Yeah, Paul Mason. Yeah, you remember Paul Mason? Yep. But I know y'all not here over here on Bomb First talk about basketball. Even though I love to just to sit up and talk about basketball with y'all all day. I know that's not what this channel is for. But it's gonna be interesting seeing Reggie Miller and Spike Lee going back and forth on the sidelines, huh? Yeah. It wasn't Paul Mason. Paul Mason is a nutcase that's in the Megan Law. Well, he's not in the Megan Law, but he had an Amber Alert just recently that the police came looking for him. But actually, Paul ain't bad. He was just sitting there next to Arnie. But Paul and he called my daddy, of course, after that little interview, crying and stuff. But Paul's the nutcase. He went crazy. His daddy and my daddy were best friends. His daddy was Red Mason. But Paul went nuts. Did I say Paul when I meant Anthony Mason? Maybe that's why you asked me about that. I probably said Paul because I was thinking about Paul, but yeah, Anthony Mason was the player for the Lakers. I'm sorry, for New York. Thank you for saying that, Rob Brandon. Appreciate you saying that. All righty. Y'all know how y'all get my attention. If I'm missing any of y'all questions, just send me a super chat, and that'll definitely get my attention. Y'all know I ain't been on. Me and John haven't been on in at least 15 days. No, actually a little longer than that. And so y'all know we need to make some money for the month of May. So y'all send us some so we can have some money. We appreciate it. But if not, I guess we'll be all right. All right. So I'll let John ask some questions. If y'all have some, y'all can come in. But John got a list of questions of topics we can't cover, and that'll get the ball rolling. And then because there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll probably start it, Reggie, with what were your thoughts when you saw that Suge did his settlement for $1.5 million with the Carter family?
He could have did it for $100 million. He could. Suge could have did it for 500,000 total. Suge ain't gonna ever pay. Suge don't ever plan on in life having a checking account again, or a business or a company. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the Terry Carter family, got that judgment, but Suge will hide the money. He'll never get any money in any account where he'll ever pay on that judgment. I wouldn't even be surprised if once it's all said and done, that Suge go and file BK again. He got another 10 years left in jail. So what would a BK how would a BK hurt him, you know? But Suge has he has no intentions on ever paying paying the Carter's family. And so it could have been 15 million, 20 million, 100 million, $500,000. He doesn't have any money stashed anywhere. He doesn't have any money. And the little money that he makes from art, you know, the little $5,000 or whatever a month, $10,000 a month he making from art, he's putting in probably his son's name or his fiance's name. And he'll never have any money put in his account. So, yeah, that's all that's going to happen. Get a smart attorney or something like that. They may get him get his people for some bankruptcy fraud is all that's going to happen. It's going to, you know, get some money. Art, going to get art card up one day, you know, sending money to people and they're not claiming it. That's all that's going to happen. But hey, but that's what I think of that. I still believe, and no matter what I think or believe, I still don't believe that Suge purposely did that. It was an accident, and so in accidents you do have some liability, but I do believe that Suge Knight was not being criminal that day, other than leaving the scene of the accident. That was totally an accident. What happened? Only thing Suge Knight was guilty of that day was leaving the scene of a crime and taking however long he did to contact law enforcement. Yeah.
Okay. After the settlement was announced, the Carter family put out a statement, and Terry Carter's wife actually said that she hopes Suge gets shanked on the yard. Did you hear that? And did you have any thoughts when you heard that?
Yeah. Well, I can understand her feelings for that because she's a loved one. I'm sure she missed Terry deeply. Anybody that knows Terry was a cool dude. So I'm sure he probably was very, very cool with his wife and his daughters. So I can see why she would feel that way if she haven't, you know, got on her knees and prayed and gave Suge forgiveness yet for what she did, which a lot of people haven't or haven't done to people that you know, have lost loved ones and stuff like that. But I'm one, and I'll reiterate again, that wasn't Suge's intentions for Terry Carter to die that day. That was an accident. And so it's unfortunate she feel that way. But as we even saw with the Tory Lane situation, he was on a 50-50 yard as well. If y'all don't know what a 50-50 yard is, that's guys that are regular and guys that are quote unquote, I guess, in protective custody or snitches or whatever. And as I always try to tell you, I don't care what part of prison you're in, something can always happen to you. Something can always happen to you. So, yeah, I don't have a relationship with O'Shea Jackson, Gangster of Love.
Okay. What are your thoughts on what we heard last week when it came to the Diddy trial, as far as them, you know, as far as the sex worker taking the stand and then later Cassie taking the stand? Did anything stand out to you as far as what was revealed?
Let me just say this, you guys, because I see a bunch of great questions being asked of me. Kind of hold those questions. Hello, Miss Ashley Monique, appreciate that. But if y'all can hold up on y'all questions until John finishes asking me his questions, because I don't want to miss them, because I done saw about 4 or 5 questions that I would have liked to answer.
Yeah, and I'll add them to the list as well.
Yeah, but I mean, so far, y'all, and I don't know if if y'all remember some of my last interviews that I gave, where I said I'm not as feeling strong as I were when I was at the beginning of Puffy being guilty. If I'm keeping it real, I haven't saw anything yet that Puffy should be in prison for, and definitely shouldn't have gotten his bail denied. Okay, just because that hasn't been played out in court yet doesn't mean that there's nothing there. But sitting here right today, May the 17th, I haven't heard anything but two freaks. Two freaks. And it's not illegal to be freaky.
Yeah.
It's things that are embarrassing for your kids, your parents, and people like that to hear. But I haven't heard anything criminally yet. That don't mean that it's not going to come. But from what I heard so far, I kind of feel bad for the situation that Diddy's in. And I'm just talking about the criminal stuff, not the the civil stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if it turns out, because the only thing that so far that I saw Cassie kind of allude to is that she did all of these things or continued to do all of these things after she wanted to stop because she feared of the videos that he, would use the videos to say he was going to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, okay. That may be a little problem if he was using the videos to hold over her head. But I also hear or heard her say that she had videos of her own on her own camera. So that show you that she didn't mind being recorded and didn't mind all of that stuff happening. I don't know. All I can say is let's hold judgment before we raise up the flag to be like the government overcharged and all of that. But as of May the 17th, I will be in agreement with all of y'all of saying that that Cassie, or not Cassie, but the federal government has overcharged Diddy, and Diddy should be a free man. Now, that's just based on what we have heard in the court of law. Not all the stuff we done heard on YouTube from people alleging things and all of that. Don't beat me up for saying that stuff because I know there's civil allegations and things out there, things that we done heard or speculate about kids, things we done speculated about drugs and all of that. Don't beat me up yet. I'm just saying as of May the 17th, we haven't heard anything criminally yet, would be my take.
Okay. Were you surprised when you heard things like one thing that stood out for me in particular was that when it came to, I'm going to try to word it right so YouTube doesn't get mad, but when it came to the person relieving themselves on her, that she requested it.
On her? No, that ain't nothing. That's a golden shower.
Yes.
I could think of a whole bunch of people that have had golden showers before. That wasn't what freaked me out. The part about her choking and then they're choking off a nigga pissing in her mouth, and then Diddy also sticking his dick in her mouth at the same time and pissing in her mouth as well. It's the type of shit that made me go, what the fuck? But as I said, it ain't no crime against that.
Right.
It's just those some freaky motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's like make you look at Cassie, be like, damn, girl. But I know women. I done have women that I done got in their head that can control like that to do shit for me. And I was like, damn, this bitch is crazy. Mm-hmm. I hope my daughter will never do nothing like this for a man. Men have that type of control. When you see a woman on the track and going and taking money to her pimp, they are controlled like that. So Puffy is not the first man that had mind control over a female like that. But so that happens. It don't sound right. Grandma and aunties and all of them not going to like it. They don't want to hear about it. But y'all got to remember the makeup of that jury is 8 men, 4 females.
Mm.
They only need one of those 8 men to be like, well, yeah, my daughter, my niece or somebody, she was uh, she was controlled by a man like this.
Mhm.
We all have it. I got a daughter. I'm ashamed to say that she had a nigga once in her life that I wanted to hurt badly because of the control he had over her head. Um, she got away from that type of toxic relationship finally, but it happens, and that's all I think that happens with Cassie and Diddy, y'all.
Going into Suge, he did an interview on Chris Cuomo. He said 2 things I want to get your thoughts on. The first thing, though, was that he basically said that Diddy doesn't have to worry about being convicted because if he is, he has connections and Trump will pardon him. What were your thoughts when you heard him say that?
Yeah. Suge just be talking. He just wanted to throw his jab in about the Menendez brothers, and like if to say that he should be pardoned by Governor Newsom and all of that. He just wants to throw that out there. Pardon is Donald Trump is not going to pardon no sex offender. If he gets convicted of this, he would not touch that. There's nothing that Diddy can do for Donald Trump to get him pardoned, unless Trump gets on his dying bed or something like that, and he just want to stick his nose at all of us.
Mhm.
That's the only way that Trump would ever pardon Diddy. So that's just opinionated. That's a shit, bitch. Hey, it made headline news. It got people talking about it, and that's all Suge Knight does. Trump, DJ Gary, Trump cannot pardon Suge Knight. Suge is in on a state case. Only president of the United States can only pardon people that's on federal cases.
Mhm.
Governors can only pardon people that's on in state penitentiaries. And that's a fact, DJ Gary. So Trump couldn't. Now he may could use some of his leverage with Governor Newsom to have Governor Newsom to pardon Suge,
Mhm.
but that would be the only way. And stuff like that happen behind doors. People do that. Relationship. That's how relationships work. But he couldn't just do it like he has been doing other things lately. He could do it, but he could do Diddy. Uh, because he's in fighting a federal case. But I don't believe he would. That would be a career suicide for him to do that.
Okay, something else that he said in that interview that we've been asked a lot about in this live chat is Suge said that David Kenner had something to do with Tupac's passing.
I
What are your
bet you.
thoughts about that? And I know you had heard something about when they did the court case. He said something at the end of it or something like that.
Yeah, he said that at the end of the court date. But I've been trying to tell y'all, people don't hear me. People just think I'm hating or whatever. Suge used Tupac name to weaponize as a weapon,
Mhm.
to turn against anyone he's mad at. He blames on having something to do with the murder of Tupac or doing something bad to Tupac. Suge has learned. It's a smart tactic because we all fall for it because of the love that 95% of the people have for Tupac. But he has learned you use Tupac as a weapon and it works. Y'all have heard him say Reggie, Wright, and Sharitha.
Mhm.
Y'all have heard him say Keefe D. Y'all have heard him say he's alive. Y'all have heard him say
Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg. Y'all have heard him say Who's now? Well, I guess David Kenner, Jimmy Ivy, all of these people. Whenever he's mad at them, he's he used that to weaponize against, and unfortunately, a lot of people believe it, and it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate,
Okay.
but that's what he does, and y'all see it play out. Y'all hopefully one day y'all eventually see it play out, and if not, oh well. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear on Snoop's new album his one verse song where he finally responded to all of seemingly Suge Knight's interviews on Art and all these other platforms where he's been, talking about the Snoop shooting and talking about, implementing Snoop into the Tupac thing and all that. Did you hear his response on the song?
Yeah. I mean, what you expecting to say? What you expecting to say? I, I saw also Suge, the person that's controlling his Twitter, responded to him as well. So if you can read that and do his response, so it won't be just like I'm jumping on Suge. Because like I always say, I heard a YouTuber say that I used to always kind of act like I was defending Suge. Now I'm talking bad about Suge. I always just try to tell both sides. My term always was I call a baller, striker, strike. I tell the good and the bad. I'm just not one way. It's how I always try to be. It may not have came off that way. For those of y'all that took it like I was beating up on Snoop, beating up on Suge, that wasn't my intent. My intent was to tell the truth when somebody's telling something that I thought or didn't agree with, and to tell when somebody did something positive that somebody else was saying that I didn't agree with. That was my intent. I defend Snoop to the hills. Snoop, I have always said, Snoop's a politician. Snoop's been a bitch of the things he's been saying. But I will say and holler from the street that I don't believe that Snoop had anything to do with the murder of Tupac. People would say, YouTubers would hear me say that and would be like, yeah, because you did. How would you know then? I just said, I don't believe. I don't say I don't know. You never hear me say only thing I can say I don't know is anything that you can say about Reggie Wright did. But usually I use the word I don't believe about stuff like that. I don't believe. I would bet my life that Snoop didn't have anything to do with the murder of Tupac or even known that was going to go down. I don't believe Suge Knight did as well. I will say the same thing about him concerning that. But and I definitely I would bet my whole life, my whole family to be wiped out. My mama, my daddy, my kids, me, everybody to die right now if Reggie Wright Jr. had anything to do with the murder of Tupac. And I will say that. But hey, to say he did not have anything to do with it, I can't say that. But I can say I believe. And I don't believe that Snoop has it. And so that's why I defend Snoop the way I do regarding the murder of Tupac.
What are your thoughts? Do you think there's any validity to him saying that about Kenner, or you think he was just mad about, whatever they got into in the courtroom?
Weaponized. That's a weapon. Okay. That's what I mean when I use the word weaponized. Yeah. He was mad at Kenner because Kenner was asking to be relieved from the case. Yeah. He was like, I cannot defend Suge Knight on this case, Your Honor. And the judge was about to relieve David Kenner from the case. Suge was pissed that, he wasn't going to have any representation in court. And that's why he went on and settled the case. The young attorney, the young lady that was on our live stream, I guess she has some influence. I see she posts on Facebook that she has some influence and convinced him to settle the case that initially was for $81 million down to $1.5 million. And uh, but trust me, if David Kenner was willing to fight that case or to continue to work on that case, then I believe that that case would have would have went forward. And yeah, so yeah, hey, Attorney Jasmine, I see you. How you doing? But yeah, so that would be my take on that. But as I said earlier, that's why the case was set. That's what he did when walking out of the courtroom. He said something to David like, "I hear you gonna, or your conscience is gonna mess with you, or something about what you did to Tupac." He knew that was taped and that would be heard, and that's his way of using Tupac's death weaponized against David Kenner, as he does.
In the song that Snoop did, the diss song or whatever, he says something in the lyrics. He says, you called your boy and he won't hit you back, because you're a snitch or something like that. Do you know what he's talking about by any chance?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who he's talking about. He could be talking about K-Dub. That's who's real cool with Snoop right now.
Yeah.
He could be talking about many of people. Suge talks to a lot of people while he's in custody and reach out to a lot of people. So who knows? Who knows who he's talking about? Okay, Jasmine Mine said that she was in court. She was sitting right there. She said, "David, Tupac is on your conscience." And so I do want to quote him correctly. Is what she said. That is one of Suge's attorneys. She's a great attorney. I told y'all before, if y'all ever need somebody to help with some personal injuries, some cases mainly for people that's incarcerated wrongfully, she has worked with people like all the way up to Johnny, not Johnny Cochran. What's his name? Ben Crump. She has worked with big cases like that. She's a great young lady. If y'all need a lawyer or attorney, I should look her up. I think her firm is the Mines firm. But Jasmine Mines is who she is. And she's been helping. One thing I do appreciate about her, she has been helping and doing a lot of work with Suge. So, yeah, she also did some work with Como, she said, as well. He said, he said it recently, she said.
Yes, in the Chris Cuomo interview. He
did? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I only heard the small part of the Como interview. So that's what he's doing. He whoever he's mad at, he weaponized. David Kenner had nothing to do with the murder of Tupac. I know y'all say, well, how you know, Reggie? Because you had something to do with it? Okay, whatever. All I can tell you is no. I just told y'all, wipe out my whole family. Everybody that I love, if I had anything to do with the murder of Tupac. But y'all gonna believe what y'all want to believe. I have come to that realization, and I came to the realization is people on YouTube in the comment section can't change my life one way or the other. And so why do I worry about it? And so, yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Because I haven't been able to ask you this for a long time, and this may be kind of old to our viewers, but I would like to get your take on it. The crazy shit that Kanye has been saying on Twitter, whether it is the racist stuff or the stuff about him and his cousin when they were younger. Did you have any reaction or thoughts when you heard or saw any of the quotes that he made on Twitter?
Y'all got to remember, I believe a lot of people are trolls and they do things for reaction because they under the opinion is how you going to change my life? What do we really care if you call somebody a snitch? What do we really care now? That used to mean something. What do we care if somebody call you a homosexual or gay? That usually means something. What do it cares nowadays if you call somebody a rat or a snitch? That used to mean something, but it doesn't anymore. People still, we up here right now. I'm up here looking at it. This chick used to, all she ever did was fuck loose cannon. And we got her one of the hottest things on YouTube right now. We just love drama. We just love to go listen to people for stories. This chick Gigi or whatever her name is. We got pictures of loose cannon wife having sex and all of that, and that got on people's channels and all of that. And we go and listen to her. We just want attention and stuff. It just make me feel like, why am I doing this YouTube? Why do we do this YouTube stuff? What is it really worth? People don't really want to know the truth. People don't really want to know what happened. People just want drama. People just want drama. And do I want to be a 59, 60-year-old man doing here for drama? I really came here to thought I was giving information and giving trying to set the record straight. People don't want to hit the record straight. People don't, it's a lot of y'all that does, and that's why I hang around. It's a good percentage of y'all that do. But for the majority, they want to hear the BS, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts or opinions on what was seemingly the fallout with Adam and Brick Baby after Brick Baby went away?
Oh, well, that was a situation that I had with Gangsta Chronicles. Okay. And so I kind of get both sides of the coin now. More so mine with Gangsta Chronicles was because they got a deal based on the work that we did for free. Myself, James, Alex did for free. And so Brick was doing things and doing big numbers and was doing good with Adam on Adam's channel. But he was getting compensated for it monthly. So how long are you supposed to take care of somebody? If you got some money and you got a little bit of money like Adam do, Adam was on Vlad talking about he was making $1 million a month at one time. So a person that's making $1 million a month, then you got a little money and you could help people out that's supposedly your friend and stuff like that. And throwing $5,000, $10,000. If I made $1 million a month and Suge Knight needed $10,000 a month, it would be no problem to give him that $10,000 a month, or anybody that needs that money. If I was making money like that, so I get why Brick feeling like, hey man, look out. But how long is Adam really supposed to look out for Brick if you're not working for him? And Adam had told us even before Brick went to jail that he was starting to have financial situations. I've told y'all a year ago that shit was going to start going bad over there. No Jumper, if he kept it up. He laughed at me, told me I didn't know what I talked to. I needed to stick to telling death row stories. But okay, I was just trying to give him advice because I saw it. I saw how when you start mixing Bloods and Crips and gang activity and gangsters and all of that together, what generally happens. And but I think you look out for a person one time and you try to help them, and then after that you can't expect to keep the train going if you don't have ownership in something. And he don't have ownership in No Jumper. So yeah. But I think Adam gonna rebound, he just cut content back, cut people back. I think his shows with Poetic Flacco does well. His shows with himself does well. And then of course his show with him and Wack does well.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to cut out some of the bullshit that they're doing over there. Yeah.
Did you see the video on Compton Rick Rock's channel where him and Nina Boy and Bootleg Kev and a bunch of like YouTubers were invited to a location to interview Snoop and listen to the album days before its release. Did you see that? And you have any thoughts?
Yeah, that was cool of Snoop. I thought that was genius. He mixed them in with radio personality, and he mixed them in with YouTubers. And for him to give a few local YouTubers a chance. And I talked to Compton Rick Rock. He said he DM'd him. He had no prior relationship with Snoop. I guess that was a person who channeled Snoop, or his people had heard, and they reached out to him, DM'd him, and he showed up to the compound. And he said he showed him a lot of love. And I thought that was a great marketing thing to get, or a great way to get his album out there. And so, yeah, I think that was smart on Snoop's behalf. Sometimes you got to go back to the street and get certified by the street. I told y'all Missionary wasn't it. All of y'all laughed at me, told me I was a hater. I didn't know anything. I told you that album wasn't going to do anything. As it did. It didn't do anything. Hey, I think this album that he's trying to went to the street, I think it's going to do okay. It's surprising to me that he's still not fucking with his people, like Corrupt. They were at the video shoot. I forget the names, Life of a Crime or something like that. They were at that video shoot, but he didn't put any of them on his album still. I saw an interview a while ago, about a month ago, that I would have loved to talk about, how Warren G had kind of tapped that Snoop and said, man, I ain't fucked with that nigga. I took me and my son went to the Super Bowl, and he wouldn't even, they wouldn't even answer their phone so I can get them backstage to meet my son. And then I saw Snoop, which that show y'all, Snoop be listening to this shit, y'all. Snoop responded in that comment section. He said, shit, nigga, I'm the one that gave you the tickets to get in. What are you tripping on, So that show you that he be listening. But I mean, listening to interviews and stuff. But I told y'all when Snoop gave him that car, when he had him in there and told him to pick one of those cars, I told y'all Snoop don't fuck with Warren like that. And that was a publicity stunt. When he did that, he gave those twins those little Teslas. I don't know why Snoop don't fuck with his people like that. If y'all really look at the people that was in that interview, at that little greet me, he had K-Dub and one of my ex-security guards, Al Gittin, sitting in the back at that particular thing. Why he's not fucking with his Long Beach people, I don't know. But I guess that's a question for Snoop. However, but I'll reiterate, I think this particular album is going to get him more street. It's the closest thing that he did. I'm not going to say Doggy Style. I'll probably say the East Siders album. It's going to be the closest thing to what he did with the East Siders, or maybe even the last song he did, The Last Meal, with the song with Bitch Please and y'all. It was good to see that he got Battle Cat back producing and people like that, but I would have liked to see him throw Daz a bone and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the last, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I was going to respond to somebody, but go ahead.
Okay, this is the last one, and then we can get into the chat questions. But I just wanted to get your take on the Chris Brown situation, where he's been, arrested for, I guess it was like a fight or something that broke out. Did you see that? Did you have any thoughts?
I don't know what's wrong with Chris Brown and his people. Why would he go back to the UK on the incident or something that he know that he had to hear that he was wanted back there? He had to hear that. The authorities had to write his attorneys or somebody and tell him that, hey, we need to talk to him for an incident that happened in a nightclub. Most people think this shit just happened over the weekend or whatever. This happened in 2023 that he was wanted under or wanted for. why would he go back to a country where he know he's wanted in? I don't get. That's when you have bad people around you. Uh, y'all, you say I was the worst security ever. No, well, they had no reason going back to that country, and y'all gonna learn about other countries and their laws. Chris Brown might got problems, y'all. He better try to. Hopefully, his people is working with whoever that victim is and getting them paid off. But this, so y'all know, this charges was in 2023, and his next court date not till sometime in June. So he's gonna be in there for a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Getting into some of the chat questions, somebody wanted to ask, hey Reggie, have you spoken to Neckbone? And if so, do you know how he's doing? And also, why would the Denver Lanes take out Hen Dog?
I'm sorry, I was reading something. I'm sorry. Okay, let me read it. Hey Reggie, have you spoken to Neckbone? No. How's he doing? I see. And one of our subscribers, Johnny Coop, big Johnny Coop, he talks to him about football. They said he's a big KC, either 49ers or KC fan. I think it's KC, Kansas City Chief fan. And they said he'll interact with you on IG. If you're talking to him about sports, anything sports he'll talk to you about. But anything else he won't respond to you about. But Neckbone just out chilling, living his life, been a 55 or 60, well, he's a little bit older, a 60-year-old man, and doing what he's supposed to be doing, meaning having a job and staying away from the bullshit. Also, why the Denver Lanes take out Hen Dog? I really believe that was this a guy out of the territory, and they didn't know who he was. Saw him at the chicken spot. Some words were probably said, and the conversation didn't go well. And the guy on the bicycle did what he had to do. I really believe that's what it was, because a lot of people don't know. Denver Lanes is big with that prison gang stuff, and Hen Dog was involved with a prison gang, and they wouldn't have did that if they knew who he really was. Yeah.
Somebody asked in the beginning of the live stream, Reggie, if and I didn't know the answer to this question, but they asked if George was ever around Tupac.
No, George G had left. Oh, G had left right. Well, no, he was around because the incident that happened, and because Knob was his boy, and that shit happened in December.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was close. It was close, but I don't remember of any interactions with G and Tupac. I don't remember. I can't say anything around there. But Knob was still around when Tupac came, and Knob and G were cool. So I don't know. Not sure. Not 100% sure on that. But it wasn't close. It wasn't close to December of 95. George Might was starting to phase out around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a super chat asking, why do celebrities choose iPhones? I'm thinking about getting one. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm an Android guy. I live by the thing with Androids. They take, man, if you big on video and then taking pictures, way better than iPhones.
Yeah.
Way better than iPhones. Also, iPhones do that bullshit when you're recording people. You can hear when they recording phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Androids don't.
Okay.
But I'm an Android guy.
All right. Somebody asked, Reggie, do you think Keefe D will walk free, and is there any updates on his situation?
I think only way Keefe D is going to get out is if his attorney start attacking all of the interviews and get them dismissed in motions. All the interviews and his book and all the stuff like that. So I really believe if they go to trial and they play before a jury. There's no way a jury could let him go and get off. However, there's something called an appeal, and I really do believe a lot of the interviews and the things on books and all of that, these self-confessions shouldn't be admissible. And I really believe a trial, not a trial judge, but a appellate judge will, or a panel of appellate judges will kick those things out. Is my belief.
One of our members said, if Drake wins the lawsuit, could UMG face RICO charges?
And they won't do criminal. It'll just be civil.
Okay.
It'll just be civil. So it'll just be money. Big companies like that got money to pay y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, DJ Gary, that's a good one that I left out. What did you hear? What did you think about the allegations against Smokey Robinson? Did you see that?
I hate the allegations from 20, 30 years ago. Y'all know my belief. If a female can't prove that she's been saying psychological treatment, professional by either a preacher or a psychiatrist, after at least a year or two, don't come talking to me about something bad happened to you. That's just my belief. I don't know if it's right or wrong because I've never been sexually abused. But if I was, or I just think it should be a time period of when you come and report it to someone. And I think 20, 30 years, and you keep coming back around me, I maybe can give it to you if I raped you 20 years ago and you stayed away and was scared of me and all of that and never came around me, but you kept coming around and then I rape you again and then you come around and I rape you again. This one lady alleged that he raped her 20 times.
Damn.
Do it take that many times to be raped before you get the... No, I think that's 4 disgruntled workers that decided to team up against Smokey and get some of his money. But I don't even think we should be litigating cases if you don't prove some type of psychological treatment that you've been going through to cope with to come and bring these charges against someone. Byron Scott, the basketball player, he got one over 30 years. A young lady said she was 15 or 16 years old when it happened to her. Okay, y'all say, well, she was 15, 16. She didn't understand what happened to her. Well, when she got 21, 22, 23, she didn't understand what had happened to her.
Mm.
You just have to prove to me that you've been getting some type of psychological help. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Music related. I mean, has anything come out in the last week that you wanted to speak on that you just happened to see that I didn't ask you about? Whether it's, something that's not as mainstream as like the Diddy stuff. Like I saw one person, he did ask Reggie, and I will ask you this actually real quick. Did you see? Because I didn't see this part of it. But apparently Cassie said that like Diddy had tunnels under his house or something. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but did you see that? 'Cause I didn't see that. But
I didn't hear that, but we heard that when they raided the Beverly Hills house that they found tunnels there.
Mm.
Yeah, when they raided the Beverly Hills house, they talked about that. So
okay.
That's not breaking news.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Reggie, I saw a comment where it said George and Pac got high together, but it didn't say anything about them being close. Like I said, the timelines, I forget when George left. I don't remember any interactions with George during that time. The only thing that make me possibly believe that George was still around is because Knob was still around.
Mm. Somebody said, Reggie, George was around Tupac. If you go to that video where all you guys are in Suge's garage in Vegas when you were giving out the bulletproof vest, and Tupac and Danny Boy are there. I guess he's insinuating that George can be seen on that footage, but I'm not sure.
Okay. That would have been November of 95.
Mm-hmm.
That was like November 95. So Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't remember any times, definitely any of that crew being around after about January. Yeah, I got to remember there was fashions of people who hung with who.
Mhm.
Poochie kind of was like a loner, but he was really brought around by G. Uh, Juju and then was really connected with G. Uh, let's see who else. Knob. All of them were different than the mob guys because they were really looter guys or West Side guys.
Mm.
Uh, Heron, I guess he was claiming mob. I'm always confused of what Heron really was, if he was mob or looters. You'll get some guys say looters, you'll get some guys say mob. So it was kind of it was mainly towards the end, mainly during the Tupac time. It was mainly just mob guys around. Most of the looter guys had kind of left, if I'm keeping it real.
Mm. Okay. Have you heard anything further? And I really don't know this, so I'm asking. Has there been any more developments in the situation with Lydia Harris, her lawsuit, in trying to get
Oh,
Snoop to
something
show
did
up in
come
court?
across.
Okay.
Something came across. When I go away from the phone, I'll send it to you, but it
Okay.
wasn't nothing major. It wasn't like the case got dismissed or anything. They
Gotcha.
filed, okay. They filed to have the case dismissed,
Okay.
but I haven't heard that it got dismissed or not. I'm currently trying to set up Lydia an interview with Cam Capone,
Okay.
and so they in the process about to do an interview, an on camera interview over there.
Nice.
So that it'll be coming up on Cam Capone's show pretty soon.
Yeah.
They kind of working out details of getting a camera over to her.
Nice.
I think she even might be even coming in town. I forget,
Okay.
but yeah,
But so we don't know if
it hasn't been dismissed yet. But
okay.
the Universal did file for a dismissal.
Okay. But Snoop didn't provide any documents showing that he owns it, or maybe he did. I don't know.
Not yet. Not in there, but he did respond as like he was the owner.
Gotcha.
He
Okay.
was one. Matter of fact, it was him that requested the dismiss.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
his attorneys. It was his attorneys.
Oh, and it was based off our video, right? Didn't they link to the
Yeah, correct. I said that to you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah, they referred to the interview she did with us.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Can you get an interview with Big U? No. Reggie, I wouldn't talk to Big U. I am so glad I didn't have a relationship with Big U. Big U. Oh, no, I have no relationship with Big U. They make the man sound like it was a clique with Luda's part. They make seem like it was a clique within Luda's part. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, man, any of you guys that's on here has a relationship with this guy named Chef Boy. He got a song out right now. Oh my God. I have a deal already ready for him, waiting to go. Chef Boy from West Side Paru area. Well, he said Enterprise in the song. But if y'all get a chance to go check out this song called Gang Gang by Chef Boy, telling y'all that's gonna be the hottest song of the summer. Any of y'all know him? Y'all please tell him Reggie Wright trying to get a hold to him. He got a deal already. Got some white boys already ready to sign him. I'm from the Deuce. The Deuce, the 8-9. Yep, that song is hot. Anybody knows him, let me know. But yeah. How did Suge get along with Spice One? I don't remember of any run-ins with Spice One like that. I don't remember when he came to the studio to actually do the song that he did on All Eyes on Me. No, he wasn't on All Eyes on Me, right?
No, he wasn't. No.
No. Yeah, so they didn't have a relationship. No. I'm sure they knew of each other. You know, Spice One had a name back then, and Suge, Suge was who Suge was. Everybody wanted to be fuck. Y'all, everybody talk bad about Suge, and now everybody wanted to fuck with Suge in the '90s. Everybody.
Yeah.
Suge was who you wanted to be with in the '90s. Even Puffy and them wanted to be with Suge or have a relationship with Suge.
Yeah.
Is Big U press top dog in the game video shoot in '08? Or are you asking or are you saying is Big U? I don't know. Oaktown dude. Big Suge mess with any Oaktown dudes. Hammer. He messed with Hammer. Uh Nutso. E40 came through Park. Uh Too Short. He was cool with the dude named L.A. Dre. Real cool with L.A. Dre. And L.A. Dre was Too Short's main guy. Matter of fact, L.A. Dre is the guy that did the song for Michelet on Something in Your Heart. So he was real cool with L.A. Dre. But L.A. Dre was the L.A. dude that fucked with Too Short. Yeah. 40 from Vallejo. Okay. I always say that. I always say that about 40. And y'all give me, I guess that's like guys with LA Compton, and we get mad when you say, nigga, I'm from Compton. I ain't from LA. That's how I look at the Vallejo, but I apologize. Y'all right. They say Short's from LA. Okay. I always thought Short was from Oaktown. Oaktown Short claims it, and then Atlanta. But okay, if you say so. Reggie, what about Tory Lanez? That's a good one. Tory Lane, what y'all think about Tory Lane? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say that was a hit by the Mexicans, because generally they would know if it was a hit, and then, number one, they would take credit for it. But number two, they would have been better prepared for a lockdown. And as I hear, a lot of the guys wasn't ready to be on lockdown, and they were kind of mad at the dude for doing that, because generally when you do a hit in prison, you kind of know it's about to be tension, because what's happening, they're getting all their women up there to bring them their drugs, and they buying up the store and all of that. So you'll kind of know if a hit's about to go down. The police know, the correction officers know a hit about to go down or some shit about to jump out, and all the inmates usually know, because they know how the store's getting bought up, how the visiting room is getting filled up, and niggas, some people getting caught with their chicks, bringing in drugs in their pussy and passing the drugs and all of that. And so I hear it was a 50-50 yard, but it was a level 4 yard. But I don't know. I just don't want to believe. I tend to want to believe it was some disrespect, and the dude just got tired of being disrespected by Tory Lane. I understood he wasn't that type of dude. When he was in county jail, I had guys detail. This guy named Detail that he was next to the cell in. The dude that did Sexy Canine and all of that. I talked to him about once a week, and he said, "Oh, motherfuckers was in there praying and shit, having Bible studies and praying on every day at 8:00. They would shut the TV down and everything at the county jail when they was there, and so I'm pretty sure, he was on that tip. So I tend to want to believe what that one Mexican gentleman reported, that that the dude got jealous because his girl probably was in the visitor room and got a little acting like a groupie in the visitor room, and he got a little in his feelings and probably already had some dislike for Toy and did that, but I don't know. Glad that he's okay. 14 stabs. That must was some bullshit as his weapon. But hey, God must be on the side. So yeah, God must be on the side. 14 punchers, and couple of them were in some good areas, and he's still alive. James said most of the hood was scared of G. Nobody's scared of nobody, but he was one that he was sneaky. You're scared of niggas that are sneaky, you know? And G was the type of nigga that would hide bushes on you and shit. I always tease everybody about, because I know his get down was a van. Anything you ever hear of when a van pulled up, I always said, I know who did that. Whenever I hear the word of a van with some sliding doors open up. But niggas wasn't scared. Nobody was scared of anybody. You got to worry about a nigga that, you know. Back then, Bloods and Parus didn't really shoot each other like Crips did. Crips, you'll hear a lot of Crips, Santana Block and Palmer Block is not getting along, or Spooktown, and right now they got a big thing going on in Compton. Shit, where what is it? The old what they call it is Nutty Block. It's like 3 gangs going up against another 3 gangs. I don't want to start nothing, but they got a big thing going on where 150 dudes met up over there in Nutty Block the other day where they is about to jump off, and that's all Crips. They ain't going against no Paru sets. And so I say that, and the only reason I bring that up to say you didn't hear of Parus really shooting each other. They were fighting all of that, but killing each other, that was in the 90s. That didn't go on that often. But when you had a guy that would do that, then you had to worry about him. And I think that's what's going on. Yeah, Spooktown. Yeah. Oh, he did. Yeah, it's going on. I don't want to bring up no names. I don't want to bring no attention to anything that's going on, but it's about to go down in Compton. Yeah, they need to be worried about those Latin games that giving them hell, but that's another story. Yep. John?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock Nation ain't had nothing to do with that, DJ Gary.
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Jay-Z got other worries. He ain't dealing with that.
And you kind of spoke about this where Warren G said that he was upset with Snoop about the Super Bowl thing, but did you see where he was just like, I would want to just be around when they were making Missionary, but nobody would ever call me back or nobody would ever talk to me. And then Snoop responded when he worked with
I really think it's more Dre. Well, it's obvious that Snoop not messing with him because he hasn't been around. And like you said, Snoop wouldn't even pick up his call. Y'all go and look at the video where he was giving him that car about 6 months prior to that. Y'all remember when he gave him that car for his birthday?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how he was all like, how can he cut off on it? You pick up a person phone call like that, no matter how busy you are. Or the hairdresser. There's this hairdresser, I forget her name. She been with Snoop shit. Prior to Death, back in the Death Row days. And I'm sure Warren had her number, and she always was Snoop. And then, it's somebody, assistant or security guard, somebody that you can get a hold to. And like Warren was trying to say, he was just trying to bring his son to meet him and, bring him around and all of that. Yeah. Security might have been tight, but you don't go that long. You call the next day, say, "Oh, Warren, sorry, dog, I missed your call. Homie, man, we were so busy doing this or doing that." But to John's point, why wasn't he on the Missionary and all of that? I really believe Dr. Dre mother don't like Dre dealing with Warren G. Mm-hmm. And all of his respect or love for his mother, Dre don't deal with Warren like that. I try to tell y'all that. I remember telling y'all a while ago, everybody always say, "Why Suge never signed to Warren G?" I was like, that was not Suge that didn't want to sign Warren G. That was Dre. Snoop could be mad at Warren G for that bullshit he said on Drake's Champ. We don't know, about the walkie-talkie shit and all of that. Snoop could be mad at him about that. Who knows? But it's something that Snoop is holding against Warren G. Warren G, he just did this little street album. Now, granted, he don't have, I think, Daz or Corrupt on it, but he could have fucked with Warren if, Warren do beats, Warren and Superfly do beats. They could have did something for him.
Mhm.
So it's something going on. We just don't know. Yeah, I guess it's their business. Yeah.
Got a super chat here where somebody says Snoop dissed Suge under a post about Dre and Tyron. I guess Dre and Tyron.
Snoop just Suge under the post about Dre and Tyron. Okay. Y'all act like y'all just heard that from Suge. Okay. Yeah, I'll let y'all say that. Y'all didn't hear me? Yeah, I know. I spoke on that the whole Tyron situation with Dre and Michelet and all of that, but y'all let the groupie, the gap tooth motherfucker go and say, I'm just making up shit and all of that. Yep, y'all right. I told y'all that story before.
It's funny.
Y'all go look at it. It's one of our big
back then has come out to be Sugar's confirmed in one way or another. Let's see. Will you and Suge will you and Suge ever do a podcast or interview? What do you think?
I don't think so anymore. That has passed. That ship has passed. I done decided that I don't need Suge Knight in my life. And I'm sure he has made that decision as well. But business wise, we got some business things that we fucking with each other on. But other than that, nah, I don't have no desire to talk to him. He talks to his attorney friend, and I talk to her whenever we need to get something to each other.
Okay.
And that's about it.
All right. Somebody said, I've never heard Reggie sound so sad while talking about Tupac. Also, I never believed he was complicit in Tupac's assassination.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's unfortunate that people believe that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I had no involvement knowingly in the Biggie Small one, but I do understand why people say that. But for people to believe that about Tupac, I just don't understand it. I really don't. But I may understand some neglect, some negligence, or something like that. But knowingly involved, I don't get why people say that.
Yeah. This must be discretion under another name. Was there a Tupac body double?
Yeah, okay.
Somebody asked how Reggie Sr. is doing.
Good. Him and my grandsons was just over. They just left about 30, 40 minutes ago, to an hour ago. He had took them, I think it looked like they were with the Raisin Cane, and he was with all four of them, four of my grandsons. He had them, and they came over and hung out with me for a couple hours. And he's doing good, man. Pop's good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to still have him around and getting around. Yeah.
Somebody asked Reggie, which one of the homeboy guys did Tupac love the most?
Wow, that's a hard question. I mean, Trayvon, he might was around a little bit more, probably because they were closer in age, and I think he hung out with the Outlaws a lot.
Okay.
Heron, we always hear Napoleon talk about him and Heron relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Buntry, Buntry was a self, but I tell you, we only hung out with Tupac when we were doing things. Tupac had his own crew. They would be in the studio. Now, if we going to the House of Blues or out of town or going somewhere to perform or something like that, then we were all together. But or a video shoot. But none of us went up there while he was filming movie sets. I had security guards up there, but none of us went and hung out with him like that. Wag Deuce hung out with the Outlaws. He was kind of, with them, to hang with them. But yeah, I want to put Suge homies with Tupac as Tupac homies, and it wasn't like that. Tupac had his own homies. He had Big Sight. He had Kendrick around him. He had, and I'm just saying at different time periods, a guy named Bo, and all of the outlaws that y'all know of. Those are the people that was around him, and whatever one or two security guards he had with him. But Tupac life was pretty much y'all studio, movie set, home, studio, movie set, home. Home either been the Peninsula Hotel, the Wilshire House, and then the last month, if that, the last month or two, that house in Calabasas.
Mm.
That's all where Tupac went, y'all. Tupac was working. He was on the mission. Why was Tupac working so hard, y'all? Tell me why was Tupac working so hard? Why? Because Tupac didn't know if he was ever going to have to go back to jail. They said now no 2 months. I mean, no 2 years that he had remaining. That's why Tupac was working so hard, y'all. Tupac had a plan. What his plan was, I don't know. Y'all ain't gonna want to hear the plan that I heard if he had to go back to jail. So I won't repeat it. But he had a plan.
Which I will say, Reggie, you said that years ago, and then it was confirmed in that Dear Mama documentary.
But they don't want to hear it.
I know.
So I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I have been seeing on social media a lot lately is podcasts, mainly podcasts, taking that first interview of Tupac when he was 17 and using it as a way for them to justify or them to, for whatever reason, prove and say that Tupac was gay. Have you seen some of these people saying that? I know the Candace girl said it at one point and we addressed that, but I sent you another one on Instagram like a week or so ago where there a group of guys were breaking down that same interview and saying like, oh, look, Tupac was obviously gay. I mean, it's clear he was,
I saw no signs of that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Women love Tupac. I never saw him really gravitate towards no man. Where y'all can see where like Diddy and people like that always want to have men around.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac was a leader. He was a loner. And he always was about working or having a woman around him. But even towards the last 3 or 4 months, he was really seriously with Kadada. People want to take that away from him, but he was really with Kadada. At least those last 3 months, what, May? Okay, maybe June, May, June, July. So, now, of course, the mannerism on that one video, he was young. He was at an actor school and all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the one that people keep using. Yes.
Yeah, he was at an actor school. He was young, man. I don't see it. I don't get it. But I wouldn't have left my woman alone with Tupac. And I wouldn't suggest that you would either. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Some
my
people
take.
were responding when you said, why was Tupac working so hard? Some people responded saying, because he wanted to complete that deal and get out of death row. But
yeah, it's no, like I always say, if that was the case, there was no indication or no talk about that around us. If that was his plan, by his own words, on September the 6th, he was a hell of an actor. If that was his plan. That's all I can say to that. What people really believe or feel, who knows?
mm-hmm.
But if that's true, y'all listen to what he said. John, would you play that little part again?
Is it the New York one?
Yeah, the part.
Yeah. I know they usually strike
Oh, well, then don't do it
they,
then. Don't do
they
it.
lock it down. Yeah, I would
Okay.
love to play it, but yeah, they'll lock it down.
Okay.
But I mean, if you just listen to the Tyson song he did before, like literally on September 6th or All Out or Hell for a Hustler, he says Death Row on all three of those songs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Did you get any women on death row heard they got around? Did you get any women on death row? No. I was happily in a relationship with my current wife. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Callie says, look up the Nate Dogg interview with Snoop. He said it, and Snoop said it, and OFTB said it on a documentary too. That Tupac hated death row. He couldn't wait to leave, but I just have to find it odd
Yeah.
when it was always artists that were no longer at death row that were saying
That
this.
would say that or upset or disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, where was he gonna go? There wasn't that many distributors. Capital, which was Suge Control, which was Brian Turner.
Mhm.
MC8 was Suge Control. Uh, Warner Brothers, y'all say with Quincy Jones, they had just got out. They had just got rid of all of that type of stuff. See, Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole has sued them. Arista was over there with what's that group? We had Bad Boys, so y'all know he wasn't going over there, which was
Mhm.
BMG. I just don't know when people say that. What label was he gonna go to? What distributor was he gonna go to? Priority, that was Capitol. Brian Turner was not going to take it. So people, the people that said that really just don't know the business. It was all about the distributors back then. If he was gonna go independent like E40 and them, okay. If y'all gonna tell me he was gonna do that,
Yeah.
but the independent game was not like it was. I mean, right now, today, Tupac could have did that. Drake can do that. People like that can do that, and do good. But
Mhm.
still, guys want to sign with the majors. Eminem still with a major.
Yeah.
Snoop and them still got deals with majors. They don't, it's very how many really big name artists do y'all even know still today without a label behind a major distributor? Ooh, don't give me all these little Rudy Poop guys.
People you
Y'all
never
tell
heard of.
me a big
Yeah.
name person. E40 even with people, his last act was with Warner Music and stuff like that. He even found the way. Y'all tell me any. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And back then you needed a distributor, you needed somebody to advertise for you. There wasn't the internet. You couldn't just put your music on iTunes by yourself and all that stuff. You had to have a manufacturer do CDs
Yeah.
or you did them out of the trunk of your car, but nowadays you can. Nowadays I would think more people could be independent, but to your point, there's still not any of them.
John, so I won't lose and go away. Send the chat link to Bob James. Let's see what he's doing. I ain't talked to him about a week, but he'll jump on.
I'm 95% sure I don't have his
Oh,
correct
you got
number.
his right number. He just probably didn't answer.
Okay, just every
All
time
right,
I
well,
see
let me
it.
go. You go ahead and answer the chat. Let me
Okay,
try to.
okay. Nobody. Okay, you try. John, why do people say you guys have incorrect recording dates about Tupac songs? That's a good one. I don't know why people say that because we were able to actually get photos of the reels themselves at the Wait Me When I'm Free exhibit, and so that's where a lot of the dates came from or were corrected. So I'm not really sure about that. Big Kaz was independent. Big Kaz has never never sold any records in his life. This Bone Thugs thing or whatever. Um, let's see. Okay. Even Akon is indie now. Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Super Tevin. Let me see. Let me find you, Tevin. Oh yeah, I see it. The difference. Tevin, as soon as Reggie comes back on, I'll ask him that. I see that though. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it right now, just so it doesn't get forgotten. But yeah, does James J's wife still have unreleased Tupac songs? As far as I know, she claims she does. I don't know if she actually does or not, but that I couldn't tell you. But she claims she does. Let's see. What are they going? I don't know what's going to happen with that Diddy trial, because I see conflicting. You know, like Reggie said, there's not a lot of criminal stuff there, but when I see what the reporters are saying that are present in the courtroom, because there's no cameras there, they are studying how the jury is responding when they're seeing photos or videos, and apparently it's not good. It's just I guess the question comes down to, do they believe it was consensual or not? So we'll see. Okay, there's Reggie. Let me add him back. Okay, Reggie. Were you able to send it to him?
I sent it to him. I didn't call him. I should have called him, but
no,
I did
it's
send it to him.
Okay, we did get a super
hey,
chat,
matter of
Reggie.
fact, hold on.
Okay.
My friend is with the lights going on and all of that. All of that is fun and all of that. But generally, you would find that most police also work, especially during my time before they had the computers and all of that, was writing. I used to call my job a secretary on wheels. You would have 5 minutes of action and 5 hours of paperwork. It was it used to take on a 9 to 12 hour shift. And so that would be my take from law enforcement, is that a little action, but a lot of paperwork. And you had to be able to, or willing to do a lot of writing, and to be able to articulate yourself in the writing. And yeah, but that would be my take, and the difference. And I used to call cops secretary on wheels. That's all we were. Yeah.
Somebody sent a super chat and said, Reggie, do you think Profile Records wanted DJ Quick to push his Treetop affiliation on dollars and cents? He was wearing a lot of red and Phillies/Pirates hat.
Well, Dollars and Cents was a Death Row song. That was done on at Can-Am Studio, done for the soundtrack of Murder Was the Case.
Yeah.
And it just so happened it was put on, because that's how you used to do stuff back in the day. You would put your song on your record label, just like a Warren G song. Most people don't know that was Warren G single on Def Jam, but it was really Above the Rim that pushed that particular song. What most people will tell you, that was on Above the Rim. Oh, that was really on Warren G's first album. And so that's how you would do it. You're just like, all right, y'all can use it on y'all soundtrack, but it's really going to be, it's going to be on, on their album as well. And so, that's what happened. And back then, you used to sell a lot of singles, kind of like it was then. You would put singles out back then for $4.99. Is what most albums or record companies did back in the 90s. They would drop a single and then drop something on a B-side on a little single on like about 3 of the major songs off the album. That's how it was going. But I think that was mainly a Death Row call, or people that were Big Jake, who was working a lot with Suge, and was also doing a lot of work for Quick, that pushed that particular song.
Okay. Somebody said Napoleon just said 2 days ago that Tupac had no plans to lead Death Row Records. He was planning to sign the Outlaws under his label Machiavelli.
Yeah. all Napoleon, Reggie, Suge, or anybody could say is what they heard or what they believe. Nobody really knows what he was going to do or not do. It was just no signs of it. That's all I can say. And that's all Napoleon really can honestly say is he didn't convey that to us. Why would he convey that to Keisha Cole or Nate Dogg or any of the people like that and not convey it to people like, you know, Napoleon, Edie, or, you know, people like that? You see, uh, our boy Edie said something like that on one of his interviews, and then he came back after I said something and he clarified it. So nobody heard it, you know. Everything is what people saying and stuff like that is stuff that they done heard, you know, in interviews and stuff like that 20, 25 years late ago, not what was going on in 96. It doesn't make any sense for Tupac to be trying or attempting to lead Death Row at that time, or less than he was already found, uh, you know, that his bail on his appeal bill was going to either be denied or was going to be granted. It would have been stupid of him to trying to lead Death Row when they were the ones fighting for his freedom. It don't make any sense.
Okay, somebody asked, do you believe Johnny J really offed himself?
I do. I believe that. John, take over for a minute. Oh.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is Dr. Dre responsible for Warren G not getting signed to Death Row? That's what it sounds like to me. I can only go by what Warren G says Dre told him when Warren G said, hey, I brought Snoop and Nate and all these guys here, and now I'm not here. Well, what's going on? And apparently the quote that Warren G says that Dre said was, you got to be your own man. So if that's, if that's true, then maybe Dr. Dre is responsible. Or, you could take it another way too and say that maybe Dre didn't want him around Death Row because he didn't like the situation. I don't know why he would say that, but I'm just saying that's one theory that somebody could say. But yeah. Andre, let's see. Yeah, he was on top of the world. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, there's Reggie. Okay. Well, you might have to reconnect. Damn. Okay. Supervisor 100 charges against them going to be just in case. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we'll wait for Reggie to come back in. We did Twisted Pistol. I asked him about Kanye's Twitter and his songs and all that, but we talked about that a little earlier in the stream. So if you rewind it or if you watch it back, you'll hear him talk about that. Let's see. Reggie's trying to come in and out, so he may be getting phone calls or something. So we'll just give him a minute. Okay. R1. Yes. Thank you, Twisted. But yeah, he does talk about that. Let's see. Does anybody else have any questions that are general that aren't specific to Reggie? When are you going to start taping again? Hopefully soon. I would say probably next month.
All right.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know who Almighty Trey's talking about, but he says this guy is weird. He sees you go live and then he goes live. I don't know. Who he's
Oh,
talking
okay. I don't know.
about. Could be
Probably,
weird.
probably the groupie. That's the only one that love us so much.
Hmm.
He can't get any content without us. But it's all good.
Has he been covering shit? Diddy or anything or not?
I don't listen to that.
I don't either. But yeah. Okay. Why do you believe Johnny? Why do you believe Johnny J did that? He was on top of the world at that point.
Was he?
I wouldn't say that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You address that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but I believe his wife loved him, and if she believed in it, that she would be jumping. She would be jumping up and down about it. That happened. Uh, she went into a shell, and if anybody know anything about her, no, she just kind of like went crazy behind it, and just real churchy, real into the religion and stuff like that. And that's generally how people act when they know things that was going on. I don't know though. I don't know, but I'm not one that's going to be saying law enforcement did stuff like that to people and all of that. Not in a cover up. There's not a conspiracy channel, or Reggie's not a conspiracy person, and I never known John to be a conspiracy person.
No,
So
definitely not.
for y'all to come over here and think y'all gonna get conspiracy things from us, that's that's the wrong channel for that.
Yeah. Somebody asked, will Suge respond to Snoop? I think he already did, like you mentioned on his Instagram stories. I did try to go find that, Reggie, because like an idiot, I didn't screenshot it. And I couldn't
She
find
pulled it
it.
down.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
it
I
was,
put
it
it up.
was a story. So when it's a story, it's only up for 24 hours and then it just, kind of goes away. But from what I remember, what he said, what his Instagram account said was that, Snoop can't even keep a strip club open. How's he going to run a record label? Which
Yeah,
I didn't even know that club was already done, but
yeah,
I guess from what they said it was. So
yeah. I think I sent it to you if you're looking on.
you did, but it was a link to it, and after 24 hours, it goes away unless you screenshot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's just a store. It's just like it's not
But
a
check
post.
the Twitter account. It might be on there, but it ain't no big thing.
Okay.
Most
Okay.
people saw it.
Yeah.
Almighty Trey, if you're gonna link it up in your link it up. Almighty Trey said he has it.
Okay. Okay. But I'm sure Suge will quote unquote break his silence on the Snoop Dogg song on a YouTube channel in a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almighty Trey. I'll. You said he's on Instagram, right? I'll try to see if I can find it. Instagram.
Let's see. Why did you think Suge didn't use Trey as a producer? Well, he pretty much said that there's an interview with my boy Compton Rick Rock show where he talked about a lot of that. He just said he had to break out, do it on his own. He pretty much let Dre control the missionary, and he didn't have too much. He pretty much blamed Dre for the missionary album.
Yeah.
If you really listen to the interview,
Yeah.
he pretty much blamed Dre and then said he had to do this one to show the streets and show the people how he what he was about. And if you like, I won't compare it to Doggy Style. It's definitely different than Dog Father. But if you like the Last Meal or if you like the East Siders, you will like this particular album.
Hmm.
It's a lot better than Missionary. Yeah. Did you see Whack Press Trap Laura Ross on live? No, I didn't see that. But Whack gets you like that with talking and all of that. I don't know why anybody's scared of anybody, especially on a live stream. What can you do to somebody? Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to nobody, man. I, there's some people mannerism are different. I don't do well with talking and going back and forth with people. I maybe come off as like scared or something like that on live streams or talking. But I believe in you let people talk, you let them get it out. When they're trying to say stuff, and you yes sir with all of that because people would generally hang up.
Mm-hmm.
People would generally go away with you, if especially if it was on the guy's traps YouTube, or if it was on his channel, he just trying to get, he's trying to keep him there to get the views, to get the content. So that would be my take. But no, I didn't see that one. I saw him on the one where he was kind of messing with him on the one where they all did on the no jumper, Vlad and all of that one.
Academics, yeah.
But Trap do that. If you send in links, negative content all the time to Adam, who that's like if you send a negative stuff to John about me, or me to John, about John, then you're trying to be messy and start shit, and so then you deserve whatever you get if you're doing that. If you're trying to go between people relationship, everybody that be sending negative shit to Suge about me, they wrong if you don't tell the whole story.
Right.
Generally, I'm just saying if you tell the whole story, because anything I say once, I can say twice. I just hate when people split up my shit and cut it up, right, and all of that. That drives me nuts when people don't tell the whole story. Just like the group, we always play an interview where I say, "Fuck Tupac," if he fired me. It's not what I said. What I said, Reggie, I'm the type of dude that if everybody forget those words, if that would have happened to me, if that's what he said to me, I would have been like this. But they cut off the if part, if they put stuff to fit their agenda. And that's all I ask for when you look at stuff what people put up. And that's why I get so frustrated with John, because he let people use our content and use things a la character, a la character. And then it makes me look like I said things that's not what I said. Because y'all know how I talk in circles and stuff.
Right.
I say stuff and then I'll be like, it'd be something along with it. But people cuss that out. And that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
Hey. Snoop is overrated as an MC. His personality gets him over. As an MC, I like Snoop music and stuff like that. I like a lot of Snoop songs. I'll say that. But he have some bombs. He has to have some songs that didn't do anything, especially of late. But I can't agree with you because I will go and listen. I love DMX. Any of y'all know anything about me? Y'all know as a East Coast rapper, DMX is my favorite rapper from the East Coast. And I watched that versus with Snoop and DMX, and I thought because of Snoop longevity, he hung with DMX on that versus. Yeah. You say Snoop peak was 92 to 96. Well, but then you have to go with when he got with Pharrell, and you got to go with Bitch Please and stuff like that. Or when he did the song with 50 Cent and the 213 and stuff like that. So he had hits after that. Yeah. That shit with Pharrell dropping like it's hot. Y'all go listen to that on a nice sound system.
Yeah.
Y'all go to an arena or to a club and listen to Drop It Like It's Hot and Beautiful and all of that. That shit bangs, y'all. Go listen to that with 50 with the with that Pimpin' remix. That shit bang. That 213 with Warren G, Nate Dogg, and Snoop. That shit banging. All of that was done after 96, y'all. So, yeah. Reggie, did you hear anything about Easy E and Jada being together? No, I didn't. I didn't hear that, Bone Thugs. Love DMX, yeah. DMX is in my top favorite rapper. Definitely my favorite East Coast rapper. Soulfly was, yep, you're right, Kayla. Soulfly was for her. Reggie, did you or listen to Tupac music? Oh yeah, I love Tupac music. All Eyes on Me, y'all don't get me wrong. All Eyes on Me is my favorite album of all time. That's over Usher. Uh, that one he did with Chili, well, not with Chili, but the Burn one. I can't think of the name of that.
Oh,
I
the
mean
burn.
that
Yeah.
uh that album. I mean album. All Eyes on Me is my favorite album. If I had to take an album with me and go and live on an island, or just the only album I could take, it would definitely be All Eyes on Me. This too now. This
Mm,
one I can do without.
mm.
But I would try to put Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me together. All Eyes on Me and I'm sorry. All Eyes on Me, this too, and Machiavelli together. Did you think DMX tried to sound like Tupac? Everybody did back then. Everybody did, but he had also a different different slag about himself.
Mm. I put up the story that Suge did, Reggie, thanks to Almighty Trey, that was in response to Snoop's song, in case people did missed it or they want to see it so that they can get the direct quote. Did I lose you? I might have lost Reggie for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying I put up the story thanks to Almighty Trey that Suge's account posted after the Snoop diss song came out. And it basically just says that it says that Suge made Snoop a gangster. You used to wear a special ed haircut. You're PC'd up on the streets. You can't go anywhere alone. Your female doesn't even have respect for you. You're not fooling anybody. You
Hold
and I.
on, John. John, hold on.
No problem. Yeah, Almighty Trey, the weirdo that you're talking about, has 80 people watching his live stream. It's just a groupie. Sean and Reggie heard the new Tupac AI song. Sounds better than what the Pac estates released over the years. I've heard them. I'm not a fan of them, to be honest with you. I feel like the lyrics aren't really there. The voice sounds good because obviously it's AI, but the writing, the songwriting isn't. I don't know. I just, and no disrespect to the guy who does it, but I think he's from like the UK or something, and so some of his words have a slight accent, so I'm not a big fan of that. Oh, let me add Reggie back. Hold on. Okay, you're back, Reggie.
All right.
Yeah, they were just asking about the AI songs, and I was saying I think the voice is on point, but the lyrics, the songs, I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics, but
Yeah, I haven't really got into them.
And then I looked up that weirdo, and he's got like 80 people watching his live stream.
What are you talking about now?
Groupie.
Oh.
But yeah, no. So thanks to Almighty Trade, I did post the story though on the screen of what the Suge's Instagram account did.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Read some questions, John.
Okay, let's see. Reg,
Why didn't the Dog Pound get a second album? Dog Food was a classic. They did get a second one. They got the one called
2002 that you did.
Dog Pound 2002. But to be honest, what happened is their album came out in 95, right? And so then Tupac came. And so his album came out in 96. He had two in 96. And then Snoop had one in 96, right?
Mhm.
But in between that time, y'all remember Corrupt got in trouble. And so Corrupt got sent home. And I keep saying that Corrupt got in trouble and got sent home. But then there's some stories of him coming back after that. So and he was at the July thing. So he was at the House of Blues in July.
Mhm.
So I know he got sent home right after that. Is when he got sent home. But then they always talk about, oh no, that was Biggie when he was in town. Okay, yeah. So that's why there's never no issue about him. Why wasn't he in Vegas or anything like that? So he was at home during all that time. But then he popped back up, and that's when you remember they said he was staying. Kenya said he stayed with her and Daz, her and Foxy Brown, and that's when he came back with Foxy Brown in '97. But that was because Suge was gone and back in jail, and that's when he filed. So we would know, when did Corrupt file with Antra? When did he file the lawsuit for bankruptcy? If anybody can look up that can tell you about when Corrupt started coming back. But that's why Corrupt didn't do any. There was no follow up on the Dog Pound album, but there was a follow up with Dad's album by himself as a solo artist. So that's what happened with that. Okay.
It doesn't say exactly when, but it does say gradually things went awry. Death Row entered a period marked by Knight's legal problems and Tupac Shakur's death. Corrupt declared bankruptcy in 1996, voiding all his recording and management contracts, including those held by Broomfields. So sometime in 96, so it must have been like...
But it had to be in after September because it said after the death. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have a date. Sorry, I keep trying to skim through this for a date on it, but it just says 96. So yeah, it had to be the very end of 96.
Yeah, so that's what happened. And then of course people was, and not that Corrupt was scared or anything, because Suge and Corrupt always had a great relationship. The only time he was disappointed with Corrupt is when he didn't show up for the Broomfield matter to testify in court, but we didn't really care about that because we already had the deposition, and we just played the deposition in court. Yeah. So Almighty Trey said that he owes 600,000. Well, everybody go make a claim about what people owe, feel that they owe money. Yeah. Why did the Lady of Rage never get traction? I really believe that's because y'all hated Death Row at that time. They didn't have people. Suge wasn't there to push people at Interscope to do things like the radio department and all of that. But mainly because I really feel that the public was hating Death Row after the death of Tupac. After Machiavelli came out and Dogfather came out, I really believe that's why Dogfather didn't do as well as it could have or should have, because people were just turned off on Death Row. They really believed, they were listening to the lawsuits that was being reported in the in the magazines and the newspaper about Tupac or Suge owing Tupac and the estate money.
I will respectfully disagree with that one.
Okay.
The only reason I say that, Reggie, is the Dogfather came out the same month as Machiavelli, which was November, and I don't think the lawsuits had started until December or January. So I think the public.
But the album sold well. Dogfather sold well. It just didn't keep going.
Correct.
Look at the numbers of Dogfather. Dogfather sold 2 million.
I see what you mean. So as it went into like January February, the
it just
sales
stopped.
slumped.
Everything
Gotcha.
it died.
Yeah.
But everything came out. I mean, Christmas album, we had 4 albums that dropped that quarter.
Yeah. Yep.
We had Death Row Greatest Hit.
And that
We
was in
had
2 months. You did
we
it in
had
2 months.
Christmas album.
Yep.
We had Murder Was the Case. Not Murder Was the Case.
Dogfather.
Dogfather. And then we had Machiavelli that dropped all in the fourth quarter of 96.
Yeah.
Then right after that, first quarter of 97, we had Gridlock soundtrack.
Yeah.
But from there on is when all the arguments started and everything just went down.
Yeah.
People had turned against us.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you hear where Snoop said, and you would know if this is true or not, but he's saying, well, now that I own Death Row, now I'm able to get the numbers and I'm able to see that, like, oh, when I did the Super Bowl, Doggy Style sold more. Oh, when I did this, Doggy Style sold more. So now I'm learning that even though Doggy Style is only certified at 4 million, it's really sold almost 10 million now. Do you think that's an accurate statement?
No, Doggy Style had sold 5 million before 96 was over.
Okay, maybe
Doggy
that's
Style
what
was up to.
he may have said 5 million, but now he believes it's more towards 10.
Oh, I believe that too. After all of those shit from 96 to
Now,
2025, we got 20 years of sales to sell.
yeah,
Every time Snoop album dropped, even when he was at No Limit, Doggy Style, we got a spike in sales at Doggy Style.
yeah.
Every time.
Is there a reason why? And really, I wouldn't know if any other labels did this, but in particular, Death Row, why once an album was certified, whatever times platinum, they never got it recertified again. Was there a
For
reason?
plaques or what?
Just for like literally for certification. So if you look at like Machiavelli, it'll say it's certified 4 times platinum. But again, we probably have like 20 more years of sales to where it's probably more like 7.
I got a plaque right now with, well, you said Machiavelli. Let's
Yeah.
say All Eyes on Me, they're saying 10 million right now.
Just 10. Yeah, that
So-
one says 10. But a lot of the other ones, they never really revisited, you know.
Yeah.
Or
Who
am I
knows?
thinking of that wrong?
Didn't have no distributor pushing them at the time. Because they changed distributors and all of that.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Shit. Interscope, well, MCA distribute, well, All Eyes on Me. Well, you said that is updated. But Machiavelli was distributed by Interscope,
Mhm.
Priority,
Mhm.
D3,
D3, yeah.
DNA,
Yeah.
Koch,
Mm-hmm.
and now back to the state.
Okay. Or maybe
Is
even
all
Gamma for a minute before it went back to the estate, huh?
Huh?
Or maybe even Gamma for a little bit before it went back to the estate.
No,
Okay.
they never owned
Never
it.
got it. Okay.
They never owned it. Koch, Afeni was smart enough to sue to get stuff back even before it left Koch.
Gotcha. Okay.
She started her lawsuit and they negotiated. That wasn't even in the sale.
Yeah.
The Machiavelli sale.
Okay.
That one, then the value would have been up even more, I believe. I don't think did when you was working over at that company, did y'all push Machiavelli?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
the newer
Yeah.
stuff. Only the
Yeah.
stuff that was coming out.
Yeah. So that wasn't even in the deal.
Somebody asked, hey Reggie, who owns the rights to Chronic 2000, Dead Man Walking, and DPG 2002, and why aren't they on streaming?
John, didn't I put that up under
I think we talked about it, but I don't think you did. It could be wrong.
it never got put up.
I don't believe so. I can search. Let me see. Let me look on Spotify.
Look under what's the name of that label?
Gang Files, right? With a Z?
Yeah, Gang Files.
Let me see. Gang Files. But I think that the obvious answer is because it has a lot of Snoop Dogg disses on there, right?
Yeah, well, Snoop definitely not gonna put them up.
Yeah.
But I was trying to pick an argument with him over ownership over,
Gotcha.
and that's why. I thought I had it put up on Game Files.
I don't see it on here, but
Is anything up on even?
there's a compilation. There's one compilation album that does have some songs, but I don't. None of the songs are from any of those albums.
Oh, they must. Oh, okay.
Maybe the guy's working on it or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, somebody said Dog Pound 2002 is on Apple Music. Let me see if it's on Spotify. Pound. I don't see it.
Once again, I'll repeat again. If any of you guys know the guy Chef Boy, have him contact me on IG. Hit me up with the song called Gang Gang. I got a deal already in place for him. Damn.
All right, let's see. Was Death ever planning to venture into filmmaking? Pac was a bona fide movie star. Was that ever?
Well, that was the deal with Suge and Pac. Well, Pac, Suge actually, and he talked about it. Y'all heard me talk about it before, but you know, Reggie always lying and making up shit. When I told y'all and Suge mentioned it, he lied about the amount. He said $5 billion. But y'all remember when I told y'all that Suge had to put up a bond for Tupac to be able to do movies?
Yeah.
I remember that gap tooth motherfucker. He don't know what he's talking about. He lying, he's making up shit.
He was a superstar. He
was already a superstar.
Yeah.
But y'all remember me saying that they had to put up a bond because people were mad and how my security was the ones responsible for making sure he got there and got got to the studio and all of that was part of the bond and everything. Well, anyway, fuck all that. I don't even care about arguing with a broke nigga to keep moving from apartment to apartment. But Suge said he put up a $5 million bond, but it was actually $1 million bond that he had to put up for Tupac to be able to, to do those two movies, Gang Related and Gridlock. And so my whole point is that was their plan to do to get Tupac was going to show Suge how to get into the movie business, and then Suge was going to do on the music business. That was the plan. Yeah, to do more movies and stuff like that. Now, as far as there's something called Suge Knight Films that when Suge was in jail that I had created, and if y'all notice, y'all won't notice, but there were murder was the case, and then we did this DVD called Two Gangster for TV. I had them redigitalized and put on DVDs and all of that under a company called Suge Knight Films. And then I later changed it to something else, somebody else films company. The one with me, Tammy, and Rob Johnson. What was it?
I thought it was Simon Says Films or something like that.
Simon Says Films. Yes. Simon Says Films. If y'all know, that's when we was trying to make a film company then. But that was mainly just to do little DVD stuff. Because y'all remember how Master P was doing stuff, where he was just throwing out stuff. And so we were starting to do that. We had did like 3 things. And the guy, Rob Johnson, got slick on me. And he went and did something. What was it called? Death Row something? Business
no, it
or
was
something?
Called Suge Knight on the Reel.
Suge Knight on the Reel. And he went and tried to put out something. And then they got him. The man down there, when we went to his house, he had a heart attack on us. Then he died. Me and Suge should have been in jail for murder.
What did he expect, though? That it wasn't going to come out, and maybe it did come out, and he was like, oh, shit.
He put it out. He did something with the company, and that fucked up that deal because he was going to be mainly our music guy or our producer guy. And we caught him doing some slick shit. And damn, that man down there, he had to get a pacemaker put in his heart.
Is he still around now? Have you ever heard of him?
I don't know where Rob at. I like Rob, but he did some scandalous shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Rob
did good on
Johnson.
Death Row Uncut as far as the editing. I know some people will say, "Oh, they cut the video short or they used the clean versions," but for what
Well,
he
that's all we
had,
had.
he
But
did a
he
good
didn't
job.
even do nothing. He didn't do nothing
No?
on that. It was
Oh, okay.
actually KC Amos. KC and
Mm.
a guy that QD3 used a lot,
Uh-huh.
editing bay. I can't think of his name. I went to sit up there all morning doing that editing and stuff with him. I was so mad at him. That's why I was like, only thing Rob really did was that nice commercial. He got
Around
this
2000?
Billy Rudolph. He found that director. I'll tell y'all, Death Row broke so many uh producers and directors that y'all wouldn't even know that had no name, from Hype Williams to Chris Robinson to that guy that Atwell, Philip Atwell, but he was smart. He left and went with Dre. Philip Atwell, but Billy Woodruff, he did a lot of the stuff on Empire. Little white faggot, little walking around with a dog. Yeah, I remember he did that video. That was the first time somebody spent like $200,000 for a commercial. Uh, that we did for with the guy making Suge, like he was still making hits behind the cell. See if you can play that commercial right quick, John.
Yeah, I can play it. 1 second. Let me just get past the ad.
There's this guy named Billy Woodruff that did this commercial, and now he's some big time director and stuff like that. But we did stuff like that. So we were trying to get into film business and giving a lot of guy breaks and stuff like that. Well, y'all look up Billy Woodruff, y'all see how big he is now. But I gave Billy Woodruff this first break. Just met with him, liked his vibe, and Rob Johnson introduced me to him, and I had him do this commercial and gave him a big budget, a big and I'm sure that reel is what helped him get a lot of deals. Uh, but yeah. But anyway, Billy Woodruff.
Here it is. Here's the commercial.
Chronic 2000 in stores now. Executive producer Suge Knight.
Yeah, but that was, y'all got to remember back then the commercials used to be real cheesy and just, they were real cheesy, the commercials back then. But that was a big commercial. If that's the one, it don't seem long enough. But if that's the one where the girl was like taking off her shirt and stuff, John?
Yeah.
The correctional officer? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so we were trying to do stuff. We were trying to do stuff back in the day that was bigger than, ahead of the thing. But I don't want to put Murder Was the Case on a DVD and had that digital ties under the Simon said. It was really Suge Knight Films. Then at the last minute, that we was trying to get everything out of Suge's name. I guess, you let the YouTubers say, I was stealing stuff from Suge and took it from Suge Knight's name and put it in the Simon Says name, which, if y'all ever research it, one of his baby mamas and Rob Johnson and myself I was the president and they were the secretary and the treasurer. So if I'm trying to steal from him, why would I put people that was connected to him in it? Even though Rob Johnson did try to get slick on us, and then it cost him his life, just out of fear. Just out of fear. We were just trying to talk to that man, and we didn't even know why he was so scared. And then shit started coming out. Oh, that's why he's scared. That's why that nigga had a heart attack on us. But anyway, those were the days. Yeah. He pretty much did. If you think about it, he was one of the first ones that took his stuff to E1 Entertainment, which was Koch at the time, and took all this stuff. And that was pretty much like an independent deal. But Master P really, he did the 80-20 deal or 70-30 deal that was good. We'd had a 70-30 deal. But Suge deal was 50-50 with Interscope. They pay for everything and then recoup everything. So I don't know which deal is better. What y'all think? Which deal was better? 50-50, you pay for everything, or Master P deal of either 80-20, 70-30. I don't know which one it was. You just put the stuff in the stores and then Master P pay for everything. I guess if you liquid enough, you could do that. But y'all saw the videos and stuff. That shit was putting out there, and nobody other than Missy Elliott later on put out high budget videos like Suge did. And the only reason Missy Elliott was able to get those type of videos was her and Miss Rome Sylvia Rome had a special relationship. I'll just say that. John, somebody said we missed one of their super chats.
Yeah, they asked what our favorite dog pound, or what's our favorite and least favorite dog pound song.
What Would You Do is my favorite dog pound song. What would you do? Least? I don't know. I don't even know. But
one of the current ones.
But definitely What Would You Do is my favorite. Now my favorite song that Dog Pound Members was on was the one with Crufts and Nate Dogg was talking about fucking a bitch, and leave your number on the cabinet. I know y'all said that's a Snoop Dogg song, but it was only Dog Pound people on that one. What was that with the Dramatics, right? That wasn't with the Dramatics.
No, that was at the Ain't No Fun at the
Ain't No Fun. Yeah, Ain't No Fun. Yeah. I would, but I know that's a Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Ain't No Fun. Thank you. Okay. Reggie, why did Death Row put out two different Tupac houses, House of Blue CDs?
That's a good question. Yeah.
On the same concert.
One
Reggie,
came out
why
first
did
called Tupac Live, Reggie, where it was quality that wasn't as good, but it still was content from House of Blues. But then later they actually put out the Tupac DVD and CD of the whole house.
One was done by a company on the UK, as I remember. There was a company that Suge did he did that deal when I wasn't with them. Actually, Kevin Swain called me, and I think on that live stream, me and Kevin Swain talked about it, where that we did with Kevin Swain, the director, where he had got a deal with some small company out of the UK, and they put that up. You remember when we was trying to deal with those guys that had the Cleveland, Ohio, and the New Orleans show?
Yep.
And then all we was able to get was end up putting up that one.
Yeah.
There was something dealing with Kevin Swain, this director, where he had a deal, and he got a deal and brought to us from the UK. Now, a lot of the footage I had where I put up on in Two Gangster for Radio, I'm sorry, Two Gangster for TV, where a lot of the stuff got leaked, but that was after Two Gangster for TV when that live was done. Yeah.
Yeah, and the first one, it wasn't video. I put it on the screen. It was just a CD of Tupac's House of Blues stuff, but it was really not clear quality compared to.
Was it done by Death Row, or was it people?
Yeah,
somebody
it was like a Death Row E1 release.
Oh yeah, see that was later. See y'all gotta remember a lot of stuff. We were having problems finding shit.
Yeah.
When Suge went away, when Suge and George Price went away, and because George Price usually controls stuff like that because he was over promotion. Man, people were running with shit, and shit was just all over the place. And we were just out there. That was my job, running around trying to collect shit, find cars. Y'all wouldn't believe the amount of stuff that was stolen or that was taken. While people thought Suge was gone for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a hectic time. It was a hectic time trying to deal with a label. Y'all just don't know how many hats I was wearing there. and then trying to also be a collector. It's gonna be interesting. I hope Art. Yeah, I think Art gonna ask Napoleon anything about Young Noble. What y'all think about that? That interview that's going on there. You
I would think it would have been
stole
worth
at the
pushing his
time
luck.
too. What did I steal? Tell me one thing that I stole and that I put out that I profit off of. Tell me one thing. One thing. But I had every right to. How do you steal something when you're in control of everything? How do you steal from yourself? I could have got anything I wanted from Suge at that time. Anything, because I was the one keeping shit alive. I was refinancing buildings and shit. Cars and everything was under my name. So how can you steal?
Yeah. People don't understand. When I worked there, or was when Reggie ran it, and every single person, every single staff member ran every single thing by Reggie. We couldn't do anything unless Reggie approved it. Nothing.
But they don't know. And because they listen to Suge line ass calling me the janitor and shit. Because he wanted, but he can have credit for that bullshit. He can have credit for all that shit. You know, he would let y'all believe that he came home to nothing. Y'all seen the private plane and the shit that he got off the plane and got in the limo and all of that. The billboard and the signs and shit on top of the building when he came home.
Mm-hmm.
Suge did not file bankruptcy until 2005. All of that was in 2001.
Yeah.
So if he was such a great businessman and all of that, and like he wanted y'all to portray, he had 4 years, even if you have nothing, for 4 years to make something happen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He put out, in that 4 years, from what I can remember from memory, he put out Tupac Live, Tupac New Mix Classics, The Very Best of Death Row, a Corrupt album, and a Dysfunctional Family soundtrack album.
Yep.
Oh. And there may be more. That's all I remember.
Yep. But anyway. Oh, what the janitor owned the building. That's all I'll say. But anyway, I'm not trying to argue with Suge. He's been quiet lately. Reggie probably got that from Danny Boy saying you and Mr. Lake stole from Death Row. Well, we didn't steal nothing because we was in control of it, so we couldn't steal nothing. But, and they wouldn't know, you know, only a bookkeeper. Y'all go look at Suge bankruptcy. The people that got sued in the bankruptcy, I'll just say that, is the only people that got money that they weren't supposed to. And I'll just go research that if anybody ever want to do that. If y'all really want to know or believe that there were things that were stolen. And y'all see with the bankruptcy court, because they went through those books like they wanted Suge in jail. They went through those books with a fine tooth comb. And so if there was any misappropriation done, trust me, they would got sued. And keeping it real, they did sue me. They sued me for they wanted to see the profits that I had got from the sale of the building. And they sued me because guess what? Because they were mad that I gave Suge $50,000 when he was in bankruptcy. And I had to show them I gave him $50,000 to vacate the motherfucking building. So they were mad about that I gave Suge Knight $50,000. But once I realized that the $50,000 was given to him to vacate the building, so the building could get sold, is when they got off that bullshit. But people don't want to tell that. So that's all they ever sued me for giving him money to vacate the building. Gene Deal said him, Diddy and Wolf pulled up on Suge and parked at the House of Blues. I don't know. That'd be a good question, hopefully for Art to ask Suge one day. I think he did. I think they talked about that. I think they talked about that. But I can't see that happening in LA after Pac allegedly, was doing all of those diss songs and all of that stuff. He had already did the intro to, you know, to America Most Wanted, not to, to America Most Wanted and all of that. He was dissing Puffy and them like crazy then. Just like he talked with Nas. I believe they would have had a conversation if that would have happened. So I don't know. I can't say. I'm generally anyway. Tupac and Suge was at the House of Blues. Trust me, Reggie Wright fat ass would have been there in L.A. And I can honestly say I ain't never seen Diddy. I wouldn't know who the hell Gene Deal was back then, but I definitely knew who Diddy and Biggie was back then. And I can honestly say I don't ever remember saying nothing like that. You wonder if Reggie can apply for Social Security. Why would you worry about what I'm doing or my income, faggot? Have I ever asked you for any money? What up, Alex? I just realized there was a Cuban person doing that, so I know how you're obsessed with mafia Godfather people. So got to be your faggot ass. There's been a lot of evidence pointing to D-Rock having something to do with the killing of OG Big. I don't believe. I don't believe that. If you're talking about Biggie, I don't know who OJ Big is. Brian Trayvon album from one of his artists that he's trying to put out. Brian Trayvon album. All right, he must be responding to somebody.
Yeah.
You saying the BIG? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that D-Rock. Just like I don't believe about Snoop Dogg having something to do with that. I don't believe that. Are we ever going to see Suge Knight unfinished reality show? That was one of the last things that I had talked to him about putting out, but there's so many investors and people into that. And plus that it just blew up. Bunny Hunter BJ was in that. And they're doing a lot. So I don't know. It was never finished, put together. It was just a lot of, little skits and stuff like that. I'll ask him. Like, if I ever talk back to him or tell some people it might be a way to make some money, I don't even know if he know how to find it or where's that, to be honest. Reggie, did you go to Dominguez High? No, my wife graduated from Dominguez High, but I went to Linwood High School, though. But my wife graduated from Dominguez High. I thought this YouTube channel was DOA. I guess you should pay to thank, huh? You keep listening to those idiots. I keep telling you about listening to Snitch No Joke and the Groupie. If you want misinformation, go listen to them. I always watch Bomb First and the other sides too. I just enjoy the content and kind of miss Bomb First notifications. Respect. Were you there when Murder Inc. had the meeting with Suge? Yes. I think one of our last interviews, I talked about how I'm the one that talked to Irv Gotti and took him on. Maybe I did that on Cam Capone's show. Don't know where it was at, but I talked about that recently. But yeah, I was the one that they called and set up the meeting, and we went up to the studio. Linwood. Chuck Levy went to Linwood High. Chuck Levi. Chuck. Oh, don't know that name. I graduated in 84, 83, 84. 84. Free Reggie Wright. Yeah. I'm coming with some facts that points towards police assassinating in Park. Okay. Good job. Very good. Reggie, whatever happened to Kevin Hackey? Seems like he just stopped doing interviews. He did. I talk to him about once a week. He's working as a PI. Can't think of the name of his company right now. But yeah, Kevin Hackey's he's good. He's cool. Peace and blessings, Bomb First. Respect, Dale. I remember you one of the OGs from our previous long time live streams. Respect, brother. Is Harry-O a rat, according to WAC 100? There's evidence that he were going down to the grand jury, but there's no evidence that he ever got on any witness stands. There's no evidence of that. But he was going down, meeting with them, and why would they bring you down more than once? To keep hearing you say, I have nothing to say, that will only take one time, in my opinion, but there's no evidence of it. And I like to speak on evidence, not on what I believe. Well, I'll say what I believe, but I can't factually say that, no. Reggie, I want you free just to tell on the crackers involved in the murder of the Don. Well, I really believe that Keefy D is, and the other three people in the car are responsible. So that's all I know at this time. Snoop don't mention Harry O no more. Yeah. Reggie, that MC Hammer Death Row album unreleased, is that real one that's on YouTube? That's a question for John. I haven't listened to it, so I wouldn't know. There was a great interview that I saw and I listened to. I saw pieces of it before, but the whole speech that Hammer did at Tupac Tupac's street naming, I thought Hammer talked well and did a good job. I tried to get John to post it, but somebody else had already posted it, so he didn't think it was a good idea.
No,
But,
I tried, and it was
oh,
marked.
was
Yeah,
okay.
that the news agency that did it.
Oh, okay. But there's a great interview if y'all can pick up the MC Hammer, speaking at Tupac's, I guess, tribute or street naming. He did a great job. I kind of like what Hammer was saying. Hey, Reggie, did you know Compton PD officer Calvin Allen very well? Lived in Moreno Valley. We used to call him Ticketron. Him and my dad went to the police academy together. They graduated from the police academy together. Calvin Allen and Reggie were real tight. Yeah. Him and his wife, Brenda, and my dad and my uncle were real tight. They graduated from the police academy together. My uncle Giles. Yeah. They still living out in Moreno Valley, doing well. Calvin Allen, good time. We used to call him Ticketron now. Somebody from Compton. They from Compton. They got a ticket from Calvin. Because he used to write a lot of tickets. Where's David? They just left the house, man. David Mack. Hey, honey, is Raphael Perez still in there? Is he? Oh, he left already? Oh, okay. Well, David and Raphael just left my house. Yeah. My dad graduated from Compton High. Okay, with Calvin. Okay. Yeah. Who from the Row era do you wish came out with an album other than Crooked Eye? Okay. That's a fair question. The Realest, of course. I wish they would have gave the Realest a chance. People would have gave the Realest a chance. Matter of fact, oh man, I could have got him and J Flex on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a live stream with him and J Flex this week. They wanted to come on and do some talking. They got an album out, J Flex and the Realest. Y'all look it up. Big C Style put the album out, and the Realest and J Flex, they got something they just dropped on streaming. Wherever y'all can go to get y'all streaming at, y'all can go and check out their new music that they got. It's a video of some John, if you can just throw up a screenshot just so people will know the name of the song, because I don't name. I think I sent it to you recently.
Yeah, you did. Let me find it.
How much do you charge for an interview, Reggie? Depending on who you are and what you got. Person like you costs some money because you be talking shit. But you'll probably switch up my name, my words and shit. J Flex, hey, Big and Puffy just want to do music. Why was Suge and Petey Pablo so close? Petey was big in like 2005. Suge didn't really have anybody. Uh, Petey Pablo always said that Suge always said that he reminded him of Tupac, and and also because they both like that that stuff you put in your nose. All right, Reggie, be nice. Uh, but they were doing that together for sure, for sure. Uh, now Discretion TV is a lie. Yeah, they glad, but they were scared. Discretion TV and they were going. They probably their check's probably gonna be worse than our check gonna be. They didn't have nothing to talk about. Peace treaty among your brothers. No, never. I I don't reach back. I only have a peace treaty with channels bigger than me. I'm not reaching back to them. Reggie, what is your favorite place to visit? Uh, anywhere with water. Anywhere with water. I love being around the water. Matter of fact, one of our first live interviews again gonna be. I'm gonna do an interview of. I'm renting a big beach house for my wife for her birthday, and we're gonna do. And I'll show y'all the nice ocean of Newport Beach, and do an interview from there. So y'all see that this upcoming summer.
Nice.
Is there any unreleased music you have? I don't. I don't personally have any. John knows where to get stuff like that from. But John is in a community where they, people that share music like that. I think Fatal Family has Tupac Death Row Chain. Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I'd
Newport
always
Beach.
heard it got pawned. I don't know if that's true, but I had always heard it got pawned and melted down.
Oh, okay.
Hope
Any
that's not true.
documentaries coming soon from Suge movies? No, not to my knowledge. Was the Dogfather or Doggy Style 2 real things? The Dogfather 2 or Doggy Style 2? They were always in the studio, but y'all heard everything unreleased. Y'all heard it on Dead Man Walking, if it was any decent songs, and y'all heard it on Dog Pound 2002. Dog Pound 2002. Anything that was decent that was left over from those, you know, from those from the 95, 96 era. Best hood movie for Reggie. Oh, always I always say what I say. I like colors. I like I love Minister Society, and I love New Jack City, probably my favorite.
Mm.
Yeah. How many records did Deion Sanders sell? I'm not sure. I'm sure at least one gold at the time. I'm sure it's probably platinum currently. I'm sure it's currently. Okay, we started at 6. Ooh, so okay. John, definitely at 9 o'clock. We're gonna get off. We ain't gonna go past 3 hours.
Okay.
Marcus Bradford Gotti. Okay. Reggie, do you think Keefe D might try to tell the courts next year on his trial that he wants to take a plea deal? Um, well, to bring up Diddy, well, that boat is gone. That he tried that already. Uh, he tried that. I think KVD is going to take a plea deal, but if I was him, I would just go ahead and get found guilty and fight. As I said earlier in this live stream, and fight it in appeal and try to attack all the YouTube interviews and book things in the plea deal. I would I would fight those, and I really think a appellate court judge won't allow those things or this shouldn't have been allowed in the trial. I don't believe in self-incrimination alone. And to my knowledge, all they have is self-incrimination by Keefe D. And I just don't believe that. And I think any crazy person, if I knew I was about to die, and I knew my son, my brother, someone I know was guilty of a crime, I would just go and confess to it. I know I'm about to die, go confess to it, and now I'm letting people off. So that's why self-incrimination alone don't work, because you'll have people that'll be willing to go and do jail time for you for money or for stuff. Self-incrimination alone doesn't work because of all, but anyway, I get too deep for y'all. And y'all don't be understanding what the hell I be saying. But yeah. Were there any albums by Prince? I told you no. He never got any studio time alone like that. He was just able to do features. When somebody say come in and get on get in on our track. But I think Prince, I thought Joe would have did good for that Jamaican rap, don't y'all? I think he would have did good. I think he would have took all of Sean. What was that Sean guy name? That
Uh,
that Jamaican rapper, something Sean,
Sean. Yeah, the guy got in trouble. Sean Kingston?
not Sean Kingston, not Sean Kingston. It was a light skinned Sean.
Oh.
It was a rapper named Sean something that was real tight. Everybody,
Okay.
well, like the like the one, just another lover. Sean
Oh,
Paul, Sean
Shaggy.
Paul.
Was it Shaggy?
Yeah,
Is that
Shaggy, but I was talking about Sean Paul though.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Sean Paul. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm not a big Wu-Tang fan at all, y'all. Raider guy, okay. Some people just ignorant. Okay. Reggie, did you ever read Suge Baby Mama Saw Me book? No, I had her do an interview with Tanique. And they broke it down, but I never listened to it. But I like Stormy. I always liked Stormy. Stormy was always cool. I always liked Stormy. That's Little Suge mother for those of y'all don't know who Stormy is. Was Snoop ever jealous of Pac Shine? As I always say, I didn't recognize it. Yeah, Shabba was good too. But Snoop was, as I always say, Snoop. I didn't recognize it being around them in the '90s. But now you look at some of the pictures of him in the background, and you hear some of the things he says in interviews. It's so obvious to me he was.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't notice it, but I can tell now. It appears now that he is. Who's your favorite rapper today, Reggie? Ugh. Well, shit. If you're in LA, you can't even ride in a fucking radio, listen to the car and not hear Kendrick Lamar on the radio. Now, if we're talking about my radio or Google, I'm a '90s R&B guy. I love '90s R&B, but rapper today, man, I like the female rappers better than the males right now. If I'm keeping it real, I like the female rappers, y'all, and I usually don't like female rappers, but female rappers is what I listen to. But E40, the first song I put on if I get in my car, I put on that cell. Yep. Nope. Choices. I love that song. I don't know why I love that song. If I get in the car with my wife and I just want to ride and I throw on Choices. I love Choices. I don't know why I like that song so much. Yeah. But E40, Tupac, of course, like I said, this too. I love this too. Yeah. Hello. So anyway, all you guys that came back to us and giving us some support and coming back on our live, we appreciate y'all, really do.
Yep.
We're gonna be doing more live streams, and then we'll get back on camera probably, real soon.
Yep.
But we'll be doing more live streams. Appreciate y'all. We talked about a little bit of basketball earlier. John asked for those of y'all just came on, if y'all get a chance, go back and listen to the live. John had asked me a lot of questions of current topics that we answered. And now we just, what up, Dayu? How you doing, brother? Respect, man. And we answered a lot of the current topics, questions. Just my opinion. Hey, who am I? I just gave my little daily, my little opinion on some things that was going on. And then now we just been answering a few questions. Nothing major, nothing breaking news or nothing we talked about. Uh, my opinion on the Keefe, not the Keefe D,
Diddy.
on the Diddy stuff is just two big old sexual freaks. Nothing yet had made me think that uh, Puffy is guilty of anything yet. Brian Blake said, respect. Thanks, Reggie and John. You two's been boring without you. Appreciate you saying that. I got a lot of IGs, man. A lot of IGs telling me that. And I appreciate all y'all that hit me up on IG, asking us what's going on, when you coming back, Reg, what's going on, and all of that. And appreciate y'all for doing that and saying that. And yeah, I appreciate all y'all. Appreciate the love and support. And sometimes you just got to take a break and let things catch up. If I'm keeping it real, didn't really have much to talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into 60 stuff and their beefs and the whack and loose cannon bullshit and all of that. I just didn't want to touch on that. The Diddy stuff, I haven't really heard anything yet that's other than they just both need God. No. No, that ain't cool. Whatever you do in your bedroom is your business. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. So, yeah, Diddy's a wild dude. No, Cassie's a wild girl. If everything she said is true, which I believe, one thing I give Cassie credit for is that woman was truthful. And no matter how embarrassing it was, how it may affect her marriage, which is be hard. It's easy to love somebody that got $30 million in the bank, right? She said she got 20 million and 10 million. It's easy to love that. And she's not a bad look. I just make her gargle every time she get around me. Every time I look at her, I go like, bitch, would you go take some Listerine? Every time I get mad at her, I'll just be like, go gargle with some Listerine. Go put some vinegar and water in your butthole, your ear hole, your pussy hole and everything. Go gargle with Listerine and go dush. But other than that, man, yeah. But goddamn, I wish. Anyway, I wonder. Now, yeah, Diddy could have been in the room with me, but that's a fine broad to be having to go through that. I don't know. I don't get it. Did Suge receive love when he returned back to NYC after Biggie's death? After Biggie's death, I don't remember us going back to NYC. I wasn't with him when he went to New York. Oh, yes, I was.
106 in Park, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Left
Yeah,
Eye.
what's cool? We stayed at Century Park East, right on the Nichols at the Nichols, and did we go to any clubs? I don't remember going to any. I got no crooked eye in them. Oh, we went and hung out with Tretch and them in Jersey. So we went with Tretch. We went up to the radio station. Yeah, we went to Hot 97, and then we went to we went to New Jersey and hung out. Yeah, so yeah, it was all good. Yeah, I guess, but y'all got to remember that was 5 years or 4 years after the Biggie's death. So people had, I guess people had let bygones people got bygone. You ain't pissing on her right. Her right is crazy. Yeah, fuck the pissing on her.
But
I heard the
mouth.
golden showers.
Yeah,
It was
that's
the mouth thing.
mouth.
Y'all sleeping on that mouth part, man. I have never. I don't think I heard anybody ever did that.
I've never heard of that ever.
I don't think I ever heard anybody ever did that. I don't think I ever seen no shit like that on no porn. Yeah, I have never seen anything like that. Or no, well, heard anything. Fuck seen. I have never even heard that before. But I guess. What's the mouth part? You ain't heard the mouth part? Oh man, supervisor. You behind, bro. That freaky stuff been going on since the 60s. What? Pissing in the mouth? I think you lying, one love. I think you're lying nothing in the mouth, but not pissing. Reggie been an officer. I know you saw some foul. No. I heard of shitting and I heard of pissing, but I ain't never on a person. But I have never ever in my life heard somebody pissing in their mouth to the point where they feel like they choking,
Jesus.
and then another man sticking his dick in there and pissing it in there while you pissing in there. I mean, I wouldn't even
enjoyable about getting pissed on or shit or whatever. I don't understand what would be enjoyable about any of it. You know?
Yeah.
But I guess everybody or there's somebody that likes something, you know, regardless what it is. There's somebody who's down for whatever.
I heard of golden showers.
I've heard of it.
I think I might even did one before.
Oh.
I think I might have pissed on somebody before. But I don't think I ever heard of the mouth. No, I never. She had to. Yeah, I don't. Reggie, did you know Christopher Dormer? No, I was scared of that motherfucker though. When I heard he was in Corona, I sure was scared when they were looking for him while he was in San Bernardino. 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh, I saw that one time. Oh my god, gross
You
shit.
seen that?
I mean, it turned out to be fake, but it was fucking gross when you thought it was real.
Yeah. You ever seen the Donkey Show?
No.
That's crazy. I went to TJ and seen that before.
Oh, I've heard about it. I heard, yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
That would make me so.
The donkey. Yeah, I seen that.
Ever.
And you should see when they come. Oh my
God.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's y'all pull that up on YouTube or on one of wherever y'all's Pornhub. Pornhub is free. I wonder if they have that on Pornhub. I don't know.
I would hope not. I would hope bestiality is out of the question for posting. But
I seen that somewhere online somewhere.
Yeah,
where the donkey.
You send me crazy shit. You'll send me, dead bodies and shit that I would never be able to find.
Yeah.
You just come across them and you're like, here, look, here's Prince laid out, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They had to renovate the hotel room, according to Cassie. They had to renovate. Renovate.
They probably fucked.
Who's ready for football season? Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. What y'all think about what happened to Deion Sanders' son? Did y'all think they tried to blackball him, or y'all think he really wasn't that good? No, thank you. That's weird as hell. Yeah. Go Cowboys. No. But y'all did pretty good on y'all receiving game. Did Jason Whitnum, did he retire? Did y'all lose y'all tight end? Let's go Colts. Okay. Do y'all think y'all should have drafted blackball Schroeder? Yeah, they blackballed him. Okay. Dudes who have been in the Navy, whoever went to the Philippines, have all sorts of stories. Oh, okay. Yeah. Could you imagine being with a woman that been with a donkey before? Oh my God.
I cannot imagine that. That's crazy.
So Jason been gone, Red. What you mean by that, Miss T? Raider Nation. Okay, yeah. I'm so disappointed with the Raiders and their quarterback decision. I don't like little running backs, but I hope I'm wrong about this young man. But I'm not big, but on little running backs. Reggie, do you think the Raiders should have drafted Schroeder? Yes, I think they should have gave him a chance, at least in the 3rd or the 4th round. Yes, you should have drafted Schroeder. Brady was his mentor. Yeah, But it's something apparently Brady didn't want. If Brady wanted that to go down, he could have made that happen. I call him a dog for it. Yeah. Schroeder should have at least once. Yeah. Yeah. We skipped over many questions. Well, all QBs. Yeah. 5 round. Yeah. Eagles in the house. Respect. Okay. I'm not mad at the Eagles. West Coast sports is having a bad time. Man, could y'all imagine talking to me when that happened to the Lakers? Oh my God. I went to sleep. When the Lakers lost, like, I think I was going to sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock every night. I was so mad. Yeah. And you say you surprised Del Rey ain't testified yet? If he thought it was a way he can get his hand, if he can get involved somehow, he'll be there. Reggie, you like I like Shohei Ohtani. I like Shohei Ohtani. I'm disappointed with what the Dodgers doing right now. I'm disappointed with what the Dodgers. I think they should be doing better, but they'll do better. The Dodgers is built for the playoffs, to be honest. They have 4 good pitchers, and then they have all that batty, that hitty. Our leadership always come over QBs and look for cheap old. Yeah. We'll see with Gino. I mean, for $33 million, I think it's like worth a chance. Y'all see shit that fucking system quarterback Brock Purdy got 53 million yesterday for 5 years or 6 years. 53 million. Look what the 49ers had to give him. And he's just a system quarterback. But all top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now is making over $53 million. So, and we got one for 33. So I guess that ain't bad. NFL will say it to have told their GMs. But you know what? If they did what he reported, where he showed up to the interviews and was on the phone and all of that, then he deserved it. He deserved that. Would you guys interview Corey Holcomb? That's my dad's favorite comedian right now. He like his political views. Purdy, yeah, total is 265. Well, you know that don't mean that, but average that out for 6 years, Urban, you'll see that's 53 million. That's 53 million a year. If you do that for 6 years, big dog. Or 5 years, one or whatever his deal is for. I know it's 53 million a year. But as we know in the NFL, because you know, just like when they did that deal with Patrick Mahomes for 500 million, his deal is up. Shit, Lamar Jackson deal. I just saw that his deal is up. And I remember when he had just got that $200-something million deal. And that deal is only 161 guaranteed. So that ain't bad. That ain't bad. He might, you know, if he don't pan out in 3 years, they get rid of his ass real quick. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's worth 53 either, Monica. But that only puts him at the top 10 quarterback in salary. So that just shows you how much they paying no quarterbacks in the NFL. Diddy was rubbing man milk on his body like, yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So where would he want it? And she said on his nipples. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, according to the great debate, for what he did last year, I agree that he overpaid. But what he did the year before, the 2 years before, the year before, you know, y'all kind of got him at a steal. So it might kind of average out because y'all got him for 2 years for like 900,000. So, you know, y'all might pay him for what he did. Yeah. Reggie, what's your opinion on the Mavs winning the #1 draft pick? I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't believe in conspiracy, but damn. Y'all go look at, it's a YouTuber that, or maybe a guy on Instagram that showed how every time something bad from the New Orleans Pelicans. Whenever something bad happened to an organization, they always end up with the number one draft pick. Whenever something bad happened, they always is. And he broke down about 4 or 5 instances from the Spurs to the New Orleans Pelicans and all that. When something bad, when they lost a star player, how they always got the number one draft pick. But I don't know. I still don't want to believe in conspiracies. Never wanted to believe Diddy was gay. But after that nutmeg on his body, man, whenever you want to watch another man have sex with another man,
Yeah.
that's gay. But we haven't heard a gay thing yet.
No.
LeBron leaves Cleveland. Yep, that's a good one. Yep. And then Cleveland, that was one of them. When Cleveland got the number one pick. So it's a lot of conspiracy things out there. But I don't know. Yeah, the NBA hates Houston. Y'all got a good team. If y'all get Kevin Durant, like I think y'all gonna get Kevin Durant next year, y'all gonna be okay. Houston gonna be okay. The Lakers, y'all gotta help me find a big man. What big man can play with the Lakers, y'all? Y'all tell me a big man so I can call Jeannie Buss up and tell her. They try to I need a big man, y'all. Diddy is the leader of the LGBT. I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron go back to Cleveland if y'all keeping it real and we can get Giannis. Man, if I can get Giannis and what's that other boy name? Because I can't have 3 white boys in LA after LeBron league. I cannot. The Lakers cannot have 3 white boys. There was another white boy they were talking about getting with Joker and Austin Reeves and somebody else they were talking about getting. But no, LA can't have 3 of them. But Giannis would be good for the Lakers. But we need a big man. I'll give up LeBron right now to he can go finish off in Cleveland. Yeah, go. But shout out New York, the Knicks. Congratulations. Hope this is the furthest y'all go. Because I would be sick if you niggas, if I had to listen, if I had to watch on Instagram all week, New York winning games and Stephen A. But looking like a big old groupie with his, like he ain't got no neck and all of that. You see how y'all look at that on pull up when Stephen A. Giving Brandon a hug or after the game. What's that boy name? What is that boy name? Stephen A. and Brandon. Yeah, after the game. Well, I can't even think of his name. What's his name? Brandon. What is Brandon? What's that boy name? Come on?
It says Cat and Stephen A. Smith. Is it Cat K-A-T?
No, not Cap. Cap is come on, what's his name, y'all? The guard for the New York Knicks. What's the guard name? Bronson. What's Bronson's first name, y'all? John ain't gonna be able to find it with just Bronson. Stephen A. and Bronson hugging after the game. Put something like that in.
What is it?
Something. Jalen Bronson. Jalen Bronson and Stephen A. Smith hugging after the game. Yeah, look how Stephen A. Smith looking like a big old groupie. Y'all see this? Jalen Bronson. Yeah, thank y'all. Geno Smith record indoor games as MVP numbers. And yeah, how often I guess the Raiders do play inside now, huh? Okay, we'll see. Reggie, who was the guy who played the gay Diddy and Biggie? I know. I don't know. I don't know him. Tracy Robinson and them found them. Yeah. Yeah. What was his name? His name wasn't Puff, was it? What was his name in that?
Buffy.
Buffy, huh? Buffy.
Piggy and
Yeah,
Buffy.
Yeah. Piggy and Buffy, yeah.
Yeah.
Geno Smith Savage's career. He did good in Seattle. He did good in Seattle. He did okay in Seattle. Yeah, Piggy and Buffy. Okay, we go. Oh, I went over 7 minutes. Oh, I didn't realize it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, man, we appreciate y'all
Yes.
coming on and giving us our support. We'll give the groupie and Snitch No Joke and all of them something to talk about. And we'll be back. We'll be back this week. Hopefully, it'll be some great breaking news. Maybe the girl from Danity, Don, will give us something good to talk about, or somebody,
Yeah.
something good to happen, because it has been kind of slow and dead in the YouTube world. I'm sure Suge will be coming on talking about not Tupac, about Snoop song real soon over there on Art's channel.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely will be responding to that because he hates to be tapped at. You hate to be tapped at by niggas that you know.
But even if
that
you've been
normally
talking to somebody for months, he didn't. He's got to think that Snoop's going to say something at some point.
these men have never did anything.
That's true.
They have never really tapped at him before. Snoop kind of did. The big old well sitting in the cell.
Well, and the Pimp Slap song, remember that? That one went out real hard on the Pay the Cost to Be the Boss album or whatever. You remember that one?
Yeah.
With Snoop was in the wife beater on the cover.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he got him on that one. But
Yeah.
to your point, yeah, it's not often.
Yeah. And what's your name for Art? I forgot. I'm gonna leave Art alone. I said I ain't gonna call him that no more. I'm gonna leave it alone. Art been tapped at enough, and he has this. He ignored me. He did what somebody supposed to do. Just ignore somebody. Don't reach back. And so he did what he's supposed to do. So why can't I keep shitting on him?
Yeah.
It don't make no sense to keep shitting on somebody that they're not trying to reach back. Now, yeah. So it's not worth it. And plus, he was once a friend. He really was. He was once a friend. So it was just disappointing. But like I always say, I have been disappointed in life. My kids disappoint me all the motherfucking time. Especially one of my daughters. My son, he out there in Vegas right now, hanging around a bunch of white folks.
What he didn't go to some convention, did he?
No, he had that some big old concert going on out there, a bunch of white folks.
Huh.
I done raised a geek, y'all. First, the last 3 weeks he was at fucking Stagecoach, but he was working there.
Coachella,
right? And Coachella.
Yeah.
And now he had look at that it's a big convention going on in Vegas right now. A big old music thing going on.
Concert? It's a concert or a convention?
It's a concert. It's like 150,000 people there.
Damn. Okay, let's see. Las Vegas concert tickets. Shit, I don't know. It's gonna pull up.
I think the EDC. Look up EDC.
EDC. Okay.
EDC.
I'll find it. EDC Las Vegas, May 6th. Yeah, this is it. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. EDC
What is that shit?
That's like electronic music or some shit.
Hey, my son is a fucking geek. I don't understand what I raised.
I mean, he likes anime and shit, right? Most of those people.
Yeah. He loves that animated stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, hey, it's big now. I don't get it. I don't get the electronica and all that shit, but it's big. Like the younger people,
he out there shaking his head. I don't get him. I do not understand. But to my point, and one reason I bring it up, I look at him and be like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" Oh.
I mean, would you have wanted them to follow though and do stuff that were, like stuff you did when you were younger, or no?
I was a good kid growing up. I didn't get stupid until I got like 40.
Gotcha. I got 40.
Let's see, what I would like.
Yeah,
I know he's not going to date a black woman. I know that already.
Would you want to be into sports or something like that, maybe?
Sports would have been nice, but that wasn't him. He was always this smart. You know, he's a fucking math teacher now. That's what he does. He go. He's fucking about to get his master. You know, he going to. You know what he going
Oh
to
yeah,
school
yeah.
for fucking master. I mean, graduate got a degree in his BS is in what is it?
Computer
Computer
science.
science engineer. Computer
Yeah,
science
yeah.
engineering. But now he going to be a fucking teacher of math. What the fuck now? Spend all that money now. You want to be a school teacher? But anyway, I don't know.
That's what he likes. Hey, you know,
Yeah,
it could
I
be
guess.
worse. It could be worse, right?
Well, how?
He could be Cassie getting shit poured in his mouth.
Oh my God,
Like,
God would.
man,
Oh,
after hearing that shit, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, it could be so bad.
yeah. Could you imagine hearing it about your kid?
No.
Could you imagine?
I just, yeah. I can't even imagine like thinking about it about somebody I dated. I would just be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what the fuck? Like, what were you thinking? But yeah,
Yeah. I would hate to hear it. I know. Yeah, I gotta watch this thing where the pimps talk about it though. They tell you it's this pimp. I remember when me, Sugar Booger, Big Y, and we was on the road trip, and on the bus they used to make me watch because Sugar Booger's big in that pimping stuff, and it was this pimp documentary he taught. Where a guy said, "Man, your mama's a bitch. My daughter's a hoe." It's one of those pimp ups down there, and that's how some men just look at women. Man, those bitches, they just bitches. They just pimps. They just hoe. Women ain't shit. And there's just some men that just think that about women. What is those pimp? I gotta look at one of them again. What was those?
like the
Those
Dolomite movies or some shit back in the day. Like
Now it
those ones?
wasn't it was after that. It was one
Okay.
of those big pimp documentaries.
Hmm.
Come on, y'all tell me the name of the good pimp doc. I'm about to watch one tonight. I need something good to watch.
1983 documentary, A Pimp's World. Let's see.
It's
American
Pimp
Pimp in
Slim. What is his name? Something
1989.
Slim.
Okay. Something Slim. Okay, let's see. Was it a
Uh,
documentary or a movie?
American Pimp. Let's see what American Pimp about. And one when he
American.
said your mama's a bitch, your daddy, your daughter's a bitch, all of them, they just hold. Which one is that? Fillmore Slim. Yes, Fillmore.
Okay.
Look at Fillmore, he's in one and he talks shit. Yeah, Icebox Slim. Yeah. Anyway, Sugar Booger had me listening to all that shit. That's what they tell you about women though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fillmore Slim and Iceberg. And Sugar Booger love. That's all he listens to is shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. And so that's how a lot of men just think about women though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Pimps up, hoes down. That's what it was. Pimps up, hoes down.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna watch tonight. Thank you. I'm about to watch Pimps Up, Hoes Down. Ready? Do you know Rosebone Pimp in LA now? I only pimp I really knew was I knew Ron Luke Daddy. Ron Luke, the Jay Valentine man, and
PB.
he used to talk about the new Ron New. He's from Frisco. Ron New. That was Jay Valentine and Bobby's daddy. The one that broke out of jail to go. He did something with the Jacksons. You never heard of Ron New from Frisco? You never heard me talk about Ron New? The new
I don't
with
think
Jay
so.
Valentine?
I'm sure
No.
you have, but I just don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was but Ron New. Y'all gotta look up the story on Ron New. He did an interview on Vlad before, Ron New. The Himalayas. Ron New from the Himalayas. Y'all, he did something on DJ Vlad one time. But anyway, that was Jay Valentine, the guy that when we got into all that shit with behind he the one that managed that take right now. But y'all but that was him and Sugar Booger was about the only pimps I knew. Then of course we all knew yeah, Ron New say Michael Jackson used to beat his monkey. Yeah, I gotta listen to Ron New. I'll tell you, he died. No, I knew used to come up and visit Sugar all the time at the prison because that's some stuff behind us and Jay Valentine. who, man, Jay Valentine had the look. He could write. He wrote a lot of the songs that Damon Thomas and the Underdogs and them did. But he was a talent. He managed to take. He got a podcast right now. Jay Valentine. Him and I think Tank be doing together. Good dudes, man. Goldie was a good pimp too. Yeah, Goldie was one. OG Ron New Sons has a podcast. Okay, that's what he said now. Somebody said it's called R&B Money, y'all. Y'all get a chance, go check out there. The Ron New, the Jay Valentine and Bobby. Those was the guys that was we called Pretty Bobby and Jay. They did a lot of stuff in on the road days for us. They call it the R&B podcast. Okay. Y'all get a chance, go check them out. Jay Valentine, a good dude. Good dude. His brother Bobby's cool. They had a fine sister. Oh my God. She was fine. But Ron Newt. Y'all look up Ron Newton, good story. That's a good dude. Y'all hear some good stories about Ron Newt. But yeah, he had some dealings with Michael Jackson and stuff. Okay, y'all. We better end it. I promised John we wouldn't be too long, and of course, I broke that promise.
Yeah.
Okay, Urban. I guess we'll go ahead and take it to 3:30, 9:30 now since
All right.
okay.
I'm gonna step away
Okay.
for a minute then.
No. We'll
I
finish
should
it
have
up
walked my
here.
dog. I'm just gonna step away for a second just to walk him real quick.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
make sure you're back before 9:30 because I kind of
will.
want to end it on.
It'll be like 5 minutes. Yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
What's your take on Cassie saying Puffy went to go after Suge Knight? She charged her, stayed first, and said she came alone, and now she's saying she stayed home. You know, I think y'all missing those two separate incidents. And shout out Gene Deal. Gene Deal told us about I think both stories. Or if he didn't tell one story, and I think Roger Bond told one story. That's what it was. So Gene Deal told us about the story that somebody told him about when y'all remember it happened at the Roosevelt Hotel, where Cassie had her gun in the purse and all of that. And when she walked in the room alone, I think with Prince or something like that. You remember? Or was it Suge that talked about it? But then Michael Jackson was not a crip. Y'all stop that. And then Roger Bond told us about the story at Mill Diner. So those are two different stories. So y'all try not to get those two mistaken with each other. Because Roger Bond told us about the time at Mill Diner when Puffy, I guess y'all know Puffy probably was high as a motherfucker when they ran down to go and try to save D-Rock. So yeah, you know, I think that's what happened on those two incidents, Urban. Reggie, was Gene Deal hired as a bodyguard for Diddy because Diddy was literally scared of Suge Knight? I think he was a bodyguard just because he was, you know, a big guy, was able to carry a gun in the state of New York. And Gene was willing to work the security. And, if y'all look at Gene, and Gene talk a tough game. Gene's a big boy. Gene ain't no little man. And you can imagine when he was in shape, so I could see Gene being hired as a security guard, especially being able to carry a gun. I would have hired Gene. I'll be honest, I would have fucked with Gene. I like dudes that talk a lot of shit and all of that. Now they probably, disappointed because they hate us telling their secrets and all of that. And so a lot of the guys like, you should respect that you don't hear. There's a big bodyguard named Popeye and a big dog and Bobby Fontenot and all of them. These are major guys that were major players in the bodyguard game that, not, telling stories and stuff like that. So, I would hate a bodyguard like me. I would hate Reggie Wright, Gene Deal and all of that, who's telling all of these stories and stuff on YouTube and shouldn't be telling all these secrets and stuff. So, yeah. But I get why, a lot of people be disappointed with Gene. I get a lot why people are disappointed with Reggie Wright. Yeah. I really did this shit because y'all kept fucking with me. Y'all didn't hear from me, didn't know who Reggie Wright was until about shit, what, 2014? Y'all didn't know how Reggie Wright looked until about 2014, really. And shit, I sat back for a long time trying not to get on this shit and let all this shit be bygones be bygones. But y'all kept letting no white man fuck with me and listening to him. But anyway, Big Homie CC. Yeah, I still haven't been able to verify nobody that Big Homie CC worked with y'all. And I like Big Homie CC, but something weird about Big Homie CC. I haven't put my finger on it. Haven't put my finger on it yet. But it's, and now I'm not just saying that because Wack and Loose Cannon started saying that. I mean, everything that they say and that one dude say, how he only call you at 3 in the morning and shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. But I ain't gonna hate on the brother because he always was been cool to me. But it's something that just ain't right. Hey Reggie, what happened with Suge and Jay Prince in Vegas? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if Suge ever talk about that. Hopefully Art to pick up on that question. And this said something like, Suge, I hear something about you kicking Jay Prince in the ass in Vegas. Any truth to that? Hopefully Art, y'all go hit up Art. And ask him that question. He did his I don't know, maybe Art got a chat board or something like that. He said that's where he got this question from Mutau or Napoleon. So maybe he'll do his questions like that for sure. And maybe y'all can hit him up and ask him about that. Reggie, did you green light the new mix classics? No, I wasn't around on that one. I was dealing with a group called the Relatives on that one. Yeah, I wasn't around on that. How did they squash that though? Who are you talking about? They didn't. They didn't. Jay Prince and Suge wasn't cool after Jay Prince had a Suge because Suge had led Jay Prince to believe that he had the rights to do this song called Two Faces. Y'all remember there was some advertisement for something called Two Face where they were gonna do songs with Tupac and Scarface. And so Suge had got Jay Prince that went to his distributor at the time, which was Virgin, and got Suge a $350,000 advance. And then he had found out that that Suge didn't have the rights to do what he told Jay Prince he had the rights to do. And that caused a lot of friction where Jay Prince eventually sued Suge. And I think that's what the argument in Vegas was about. And then when he sued Suge, I don't know what happened to that. I think, it probably got dropped in the lawsuit, in the bankruptcy. Yeah. Yeah, what happened to Milkbone? Milkbone was one of those, what I did with all the artists on there was like one-offs, where I had the right to sign them. I didn't sign them, but I had the right to sign you up, to sign you if you blew up. And what I did was throughout all of those people on Chronic 2000 and Two Gangster for Radio, I just wanted to see who the fuck y'all liked. I thought y'all was going to like Top Dog. I had already got inklings that y'all wasn't going to like The Realest. If y'all noticed, Crooked Eye wasn't on any of those songs yet. I really, really, really was banking on Superfly. If y'all noticed, that's why I spent like $106,000 on that video. I keep saying I, but y'all know everything that was done. That was Suge's. It was Suge's company. He just gave me permission to run it, which I got permission to do. But so I guess I'm using the word I wrong. But but that boy, what's his name? Superfly. Yeah, I remember that Matrix. Remember the Matrix was big then? And we tried to do that Matrix video on Superfly. So I really thought y'all was gonna like Superfly, and then I thought y'all was gonna like Crooked Eye and Top Dog. But of course, y'all didn't like y'all didn't like nobody. we could do so. That's how that happened. An album, I mean, yeah, that's what I was saying. While we was trying to get them to somebody to blow up to put on the album. Okay, Urban Flavor. She didn't accept the FaceTime. What we talking about? She didn't affect the media outlets reported it wrong. Oh, you know better than she do. He called FaceTime, but she didn't answer. Oh, okay. They said I thought she answered the phone too, but I did read somewhere where he said she didn't answer, but he was trying to call her. Yeah, call your woman right now, Urban. I'm sure she won't pick up right now. I'm sure she won't pick up right now. And it's about 12:30 out there in DC. Yeah, she probably somewhere getting that pipe laid. Oh, okay. All right. I'll leave my boy Urban alone. Reggie, you allude in the past live of Suge and Big U, having a check-in type relationship with T.I. in the mid 2000s. Were there a reason T.I.? Yeah, him and Ludacris was then got into it about something. The gun thing that happened a little later in 2007 when they was on the way to Vegas. That's when they was on the way to Vegas when that gun thing happened. That was his manager. Somebody got arrested or something like that. But guns in L.A. that got him. Oh, you talking about something else? Purchased the guns in L.A. that got him sent to prison. Were there a reason T.I.? I don't know anything about that. I just know about the situation with Ludacris and T.I. There was something going on with Ludacris and T.I. and they both were involved with that somehow. But I'm scared to talk about stuff like that because I don't need to be brought in by no police asking me about shit I just heard second and third hand, just like y'all. So I don't leave that shit alone. Because as I done learned, this YouTube police shit is real. I talked to dog, okay. Plus Big Phil had been murdered. All right, y'all must be in a private conversation. Reggie, this Suge, no Haitian Jack, not to my knowledge. I think all the copycats and the dissing heard Death Row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the dissing did.
Yeah, the dissing was big. Yeah, we were hating. I told before that we were some big old bitches. We were some babies. We were childish. Yeah, Tim bought those guns after Big Phil was murdered. It was something about I remember. Don't y'all remember when T.I. and him or his manager, somebody got arrested on the way from L.A. to Vegas? It was something that went down on the way to Vegas. Because to be honest, me and T.I. we were staying at the hotel, the La Mirage Hotel, the Mirage. There's this hotel in Beverly Hills that's real in the cut that was nice. And I was hanging with the dude from True Dat. And he had this artist he was trying to come. And I caught T.I. coming out of the hotel. And he, getting he had this rapper that he was fucking with. And I had him go do something with the Realest. Who was that rapper? It was a rapper he had in like 2007 that he was pushing. And anyway, they went and hung out at the studio for a while. I had him, and then I had my boy Abo with this. You remember that white rapper, Bubba Sparks? I had him hanging with them, and they had got arrested on the way to Vegas with some guns in the car or some shit like that. But I don't know. Reggie going down in 2006, in 2026, I'll be the end of the role for you, Reg. Well, thank you for that information. I really appreciate that. What agency do you work for? Or are you just a psychic? Which one is it? You a psychic or you an agent? I know you're not an informant because informants don't tell stuff like that. So if you're an FBI agent or DA, or are you a psychic? Which one is it, Conrad? I'd like to know. Because I have some other questions I'd like to ask you now, Oh, about my life. Since you know so much. Morgan and Morgan is done for us. They haven't re-upped, but we got another one. Matter of fact, John's slipping because we are supposed to put it in one of our things before the month of June is up. Our new program, but
Yeah.
not June. What month we in? May, huh?
Yeah, they want it in a video though, so I gotta work on it, see if we can insert it into it live.
Yeah, that's what they do. They don't know the difference.
Yeah.
We just do something short and you just break it up. Some good topic we talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we just break it up, put it in there. Yep. Was it pork chop? I think it was pork chop. I think it was because he was kind of heavy. Dart's gonna do. I gotta call the realist, but I don't get the realist on realist and C Style and J Flex this week. We're gonna do something with them so they can advertise and talk about their new album that they got working. I'm part of the RJ Bond and Michael Carlin Douglas group. Got you. So you's an idiot then, huh? Got you. We understand. We understand. Did your boy
I just told him to come back in a year and apologize.
Yeah, they won't do that. I've been hearing that ever since I came on YouTube that was going down.
Yeah. Next year for like 10 years.
All right. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So we about did it. I'm gonna go watch my my pimping shows. I've been watching Suits, y'all. I'm just finally finishing up with the series Suits. I like Suits. I've been The Shy is back on, but y'all that need some TV shows to watch. The Shy started back up, and it was kind of slow the first one. And Raising Cain, I think about ended. Do y'all think Cain killed his mama, or do y'all think somebody else stepped in and intervened? What y'all think? Let's see what else is on. What else I've been watching on TV? Something else is about to start. Oh my, the Harlem Godfather is back on too. So they got stuff to watch. The Shy first season was good. Well, now they in like the fourth season or the fifth season now, but the first episode just came back on. Matter of fact, he popped someone else, huh? It was somebody else, huh? Yeah, I know he ain't killed his mama yet, but we know he ain't killed, and we know Jukebox ain't dead because they were all in power. So we know they never gonna die. But did he ever really talk about his mama? He never really talked about his mama, so we don't know when he gonna kill him off. Yeah. Did y'all know the guy in Shy is a girl? Y'all tell me what's the guy in the Shy that's a girl? I did not believe that until I saw that online. It's a guy in the Shy that's playing a guy, but it's really a girl in real life. Says Bomb First back. We never left. We just took a. No, that's a girl. I mean, well, that's a girl. That's wait a minute. That's the other way around. That's a guy that's playing a girl. It's a girl. It's a guy that's playing that is a girl in real life. I did not know that. Y'all research that. Y'all gonna be amazed. I can't think of his name right now, but it's the guy with the braids. Well, I got to give up on the show. I hate when these shows have too many transgenders and faggots and shit in it. Man, we got to stop supporting these shows. John the Goofball read my comments, bro. All right, Andrew.
Yeah,
The first one left. He's playing a trans on there. No, that ain't the one I'm talking about. Wait a minute. No, it's one that's playing a tough guy that's a girl in real life. All right, y'all look it up. But it's a guy that's a main part of the show. It's the guy that played in the New Edition Little Brother. As one of the guys in the New Edition. I can't think of his name. But anyway, he said Luke James is the name. John, look that up right quick and then we can go. Luke James.
What about
show that picture.
what
Let's
about
look it up. You ain't hearing what I said? No. Well,
I
listen.
am, but
The
it's a
guy,
guy. It's Grammy
there's a
nominated
guy
R&B
that's
singer.
a girl in real life.
It's a guy that's a girl in real life. Is it a
Yeah.
trans guy? Is what you're trying to say?
No, it's a guy that's playing the part of. It's a girl that's playing the part of as a guy. Is what I'm trying to say.
In
She's a
real life.
girl in real life, but they got her dressed up like a boy.
Okay. Luke James is a guy, whoever that is. He gained attention for portraying a character who has transgender love interests in the show The Shy.
No,
James has spoken about
that's the guy from. No, that's the older brother. That's not. No, that's not him.
Okay, then
That's
somebody
not him. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah,
it's okay if you know the name. I don't
I
mind.
can't think of his name, but Luke James is with the trans. That's the one
Let's search it.
that's the guy that
That's on
played
the
in the
show?
New Edition. It's his younger brother in the show. It's
Okay.
Luke James' brother in the Shy. He
Okay.
got a long dreads in the show.
Let's see the series.
Like your friend Alex. Somebody
What?
saying Jasmine Davis now. Maybe
That's what I'm seeing, Jasmine Davis, but I don't
Okay.
know. Jasmine Davis, yes, is a transgender actress who played
no, not her. That's the one that he goes with.
Imani, a transgender one. Okay, I gotta know the character's name to find it. Then
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I messed up.
oh.
The younger brother is a girl I know in real life.
He's saying no, Reggie, you're
Yes,
wrong.
I'm telling you. Pull it up. What's the name of the younger brother? They know what I'm talking about. He don't believe it, but I'm telling
Shy
you.
younger brother. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to text it
Williams?
to you, guys. I'm about to go away and text it to you. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right,
Okay.
damn.
Perfect. Okay, let's see. John the Goof. All right, Andrew. I'll get ready. I'm a goof. I don't know why you're on here. Weirdo. Okay. Reggie sent a photo, so let me add that. This is the photo he sent.
Yeah, I will see that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Hollywood. Did y'all know that? Any of y'all know that? Let's all calm down. Selena Gomez one. Jason Mitchell was good. Okay, y'all ain't saying that yet. All right, but anyway,
It's up there. No one's responded to it yet.
yeah,
They said that's a dude.
that's a
Reg.
dude.
They're wearing a bra. How?
That ain't no dude. Okay, whatever. All right, whatever. It tells you if you read the caption.
Well, what was the name? No, you just told
I
me
can't think of her name in
name.
the show. I don't know.
Oh, you found the picture?
I just saw that. I just screenshot that, and I sent it to somebody. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's a stud. That is not a dude. Jake, Jake is his name in the show. So Jake is the name in the show. That is his name, Jake. I don't know. Okay. I didn't know that. Jake Taylor is the name of the show.
The Shy Jake. Let's see. Okay. Jake is the main character of Showtime.
They say that's not him. Oh.
Let's see. Okay, here's a question. Is Jake a girl? No, Jake on The Shy is not a girl. He is a male character portrayed Well, this is wrong because it says by Michael Epps.
Yeah,
That's not right.
well, it might be his real name. He might have
Is
another
that his real
name.
name, Michael Epps? If that's
It
his
could
name,
be.
then
I
that
don't
we're
know.
saying it's not a trans person. It's a straight, like it's a born
Well, they
guy.
put that picture up. That nigga look gay like that. If he ain't, he gay. That picture, taking that picture, unless somebody did some goddamn
Probably AI or some shit, you know?
some AI.
Maybe.
I
You
don't
never
know.
know.
Yeah.
Photoshop or
But
something.
what you just wrote said he's not. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I said, I'm giving up on this show. Hey, he got beat up today in the show, though. Yeah, he got beat up. They whooped his ass today. But anyway, Bomb First family, we appreciate y'all. Oh, you say voting on for Kamala Harris. You probably wish your ass voted for Kamala Harris now after all this shit y'all boy doing. Y'all boy, man, he doing whatever the fuck he want. Y'all, you agree with what Donald Trump doing right now?
Getting planes and
Really?
shit from other governments.
Y'all really believe? Y'all really agree with that? Yeah, okay. If y'all agree with that, then okay. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. They got 3 years. We'll see in 2 years when all the senators lose because of this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Trump is making us look bad, y'all, in the eyes of everybody. All the shit that he promised that he was going to do, he is not doing. The shit that he's doing, especially if the Supreme Court this week votes to take y'all voting rights away. Not voting rights. What's they call that? What's that word, John? Where they y'all birth rights away? If that happens, that's crazy, y'all.
Does the
Do
Senate
you
vote
know how
away?
many
Do I
people
know?
we went to school with and stuff that would not be considered half the kids that I grew up with that are Mexicans would not be citizens if that shit goes through.
Shouldn't his son not be considered American because of his mom, Melania?
But but his dad was American. Donald was always American,
Okay.
and they were, yeah. But I don't know, but that's crazy, y'all. Yeah, but anyway, y'all keep promoting. Y'all keep, yeah. All right, okay. Oh, John, who was Asada Shakur?
Asada Shakur was like a political prisoner, I think, that got out, and
Is
they're
that
still hunting for her.
that's not Tupac's auntie?
I think it is. He always mentioned her. Let me see.
Hey, Urban Flavor, you still there? Wasn't that you are arguing with Asada Shakur? Well, whoever that is, she's supposed to be in Cuba or something. Still, I thought.
She's
I meant to
somewhere.
tell
Yeah,
you.
she got out, busted out, or
Yeah,
some
she's
shit.
supposed to be. That's supposed to be in Cuba. So that's
Yeah.
somebody just posing as her. Asada Shakur is not responding to you, Urban Flavor. I seen you send me that screenshot. If you're still here. Yeah, Asada. I meant to tell you that when you sent me that. He was arguing with Asada Shakur about something.
Oh,
And I was like, I thought she was in shit. Was in Cuba or something. Yeah. All right. But anyway, respect Ball First family. Appreciate y'all coming over here and still supporting us. And we'll see y'all sometime next week.
Yep.
Tell the haters I say what's up. They can get some views now. All right.